What's up, everybody? Welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Cory, and I am joined here today by Ted. Ted, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Before
everyone.
we get started, let's say hi to people in chat. It looks like we've got Cody Bear. Cody Bear, always happy to have you.
Cody.
Bus, Ankit, BK. We've got people tuning in. If you are joining us, make sure you say hi in the chat, either Behance or YouTube. Let us know where you're joining from. We are currently in San Francisco in the studio, which is super exciting. I usually stream from home, and so I love being here in SF in beautiful San Francisco. I live in Portland, Oregon. Where are you joining us from?
Well, I live in San Francisco, so just
hometown hero.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're working on today? A little bit about who you are.
So very excited to be here. We also hit 1 million followers on Adobe Live today, so there's a party going in the office. I'm very excited, So
yeah, we got chicken and waffles in the office.
I know, it's great.
I know.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me or never seen me before, my name's Ted. I'm a digital artist based in San Francisco. So this is some type of my work that I do. It's kind of like surrealism, fantasy, animal, kind of an adventure exploring type of like art. So that's what I'll be doing.
Awesome.
And today we are going to try to recreate this image with Fireflies and Adobe Photoshop Beta with their new structure reference, image generative, and image reference. Generative image, yeah.
Super cool, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, and you went really fast from your Instagram. If you want to give your Instagram a hi or a shout out,
yeah.
Everyone in the chat, if you're not following Ted, you should make sure to follow him. What's your
It's Ted's little dream.
Ted's little
dream.
dream.
My little dream,
Follow Ted's little dream on Instagram, everybody. And we've got some people popping off in the chat. We've got Jeff Miller, Northeast Pennsylvania, in your studio. Okay, awesome. Space Bugs, hey everyone. Space Bugs Animation, where are you joining from? Apurva, hi Apurva, always good to see you. Sean, Raphael, hi all, hi Cory, so good to see you. Make sure you give Ted a follow on Instagram. Okay, so, sorry, back to your screen.
It's okay. Yeah, give me some extra time to get ready. So so let's dive into Firefly first, and then we'll jump into Photoshop Beta. Okay, so obviously you can see this image, the prompt, you kind of write a kind of like octopus, kind of like submerged having to the water, right, with the moon in the background. So we're gonna take it to like step by step, like how it got to here. So like yesterday I was just playing around, like making sure like, okay, like this is actually like gonna work, because like you never know what's like interesting image is gonna like pop out on Fireflies, right? It's always cool, but I want to make sure like I get the full control of it, because I like every detailed design, everything gotta look the same how I want it.
Well, and there's like so much dimension to this image. Like you said, you've got that kind of like water blurry up in the foreground, then you've got the octopus in focus, then the moon and the clouds and the stars. So that's a lot of things to be working on in Firefly.
Don't worry, it's actually pretty easy, Okay. I mean, obviously you can just like kind of go on like Firefly, right? You can just type the whole prompt in. You might actually just get the similar result, right? But for me, like I want to like kind of break it down with like different design layers and stuff. So we're just gonna try typing something in. So it's also kind of fun. Like every time I go on Firefly, I just click generator, whatever the prompt they give it to me.
Yeah.
And then from there, I change the setting on there. But yeah, I'm not gonna really use breads and like pastries and eggs. So we're gonna change that.
Yeah, we're not doing that today. Although I might use that for my I'm doing a live stream right after this for a garden party. And so I'm like, okay, that works well for what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, so you wanna go on there and make sure your model is on Firefly Image 3. So this is like a new one. And then I personally like to use portrait on the setting because it goes vertical. It's very easily to convert to setting for Instagram. Right?
Yep, totally.
I post mainly on there. Content type, you can pick art or photo. I always pick photo because I want everything to look photorealistic.
Yep, totally.
Yeah, but if you want to practice with like concept and art and different things, you can click art and try different styles, right? There's structures reference and styles reference right here.
Yep.
We can kind of go over with that. So, let's figure out our prompt first. So, what was the prompt again?
Yes, we were looking at octopus submerged halfway into the ocean. Top of the head above water. Side profile a little bit. You had that kind of like water.
Oh yeah, side profile.
Yeah.
So I put side profiles because like sometimes let's just hit generate first without the side profile. I don't know if it helps, but I think it does help. But just like trying to communicate it, because like you have different camera angle that you can control on Fireflies. but for side profile, right? So this is like something we get, right? You have all the different angle. It doesn't really like show it. So then we're gonna press side profile. There's also like prompt that's suggesting to you, so we can read like some image halfway into the ocean. Side profile view underwater shot. So portrait rotation. I'm gonna try this prompt. See what it looks like. And
so if people tuning in aren't super familiar with Firefly, what Firefly is a text to image generative AI software, right? And so it's almost like the more that you give it to work with, the better detailed and the more like enhanced your image is going to be. And so I think that that's why those like extra prompts come up, and that just kind of like helps to like really refine the image into something that's like more realistic, more of what like the sort of thing you're looking for.
Yeah, it's like trying to figure out a way how you could communicate with the AI to help you to achieve your goals, right? So now we see the underwater shot, portrait rotation, everything looks great, but I didn't want it underwater. I kind of want it kind of like a half water split. So I'm gonna take that part out and side profile view and see why it goes.
Yeah, we've got Raphael saying I always add photorealistic in my prompt when I need a good photo result. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's where that extra little step in your process comes in, where instead of art, you hit the photo like option.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. Well, and then when you scroll down, you see all these effects right here. You have all different type. Personally, I like to use hyper-realistic, which is also under popular, because it's very popular options, right? There's all this other cool thing. If you click O, you can see all these different options that you can try with different style. But we're just gonna stay with hyper-realistic, right? So you can already see that it's giving us like a pretty good like result right now, right?
Those are amazing.
So we have like some cool thing, and then we're gonna hit generate one more time to see what other options we have, and then we can hop into structured reference. So what structured reference does, have you tried this before?
Only recently, and let me tell you, this is so helpful. For, like structural references, if you want to like reference a certain type of like composition, or if you're referencing like an old piece of artwork, I use this all the time now.
Yeah, so now we generate this. I personally really like this one.
That's amazing.
Kind of like this bow. So I'm going to save this. You can like actually just click download, and then I have the session ready. I'm just gonna put it right. There's like 50 images in here, but I'll be able to remember which one it is, hopefully.
Yeah.
You'll see. But so cool thing is that you can also click edit it. You can use like generative fill on here, or use generative similar, so you can similar result from the same prompt and everything, composition-wise. And you can also use it itself as a structured reference or style reference. So what is structured reference, right? So for example, like I want to use something like, I have a background download. So this is on Adobe Stock. And under Adobe Stock, you can go into the free sections, and you can search like image to use for like projects and anything to try out. So I personally like this composition a little bit more because, you know, it has like the water split in half. You have the foreground, midground, background. You have the little island, the beach, and then you have the sky in the back, right? So I'm gonna try to use that and tell Firefly just like, hey, can you generate something similar like this for me, you know? So we're gonna hop in the folder. You can see all these files right here.
Although we're seeing the whole process right now.
Yeah, you're seeing the whole process. So these are all the task file I did. Just want to make sure that everything runs well. So I got this. I want to say, click yes, and then we're gonna try to hit generate, and it will see compare the result difference. A quick example I have from before. So this is like a video I made. So there's captions on there, but don't worry about it. So it's pretty much just like showing you how I went from this sketch, typing some prompt with like ocean, mountains, and cliff, right, to with the big moon on the back, and it jumped to something like that. Right.
Way more realistic. Looks like an actual photograph.
It's fun, right? So for someone like, let's say like you have problem like, you know, coming with like a quick composite, or just like want to do like some quick sketching and turn that into, you know, like the final photo. So this is like something very helpful, you know. It's like I like to draw like sketching doodles. I can draw few lines, fill in the color blocks, And then from there, I'll just like export that to like JPEG and then upload that to Fireflies and got it onto there, right?
Well, and what's cool about the way that you're working with this, and I think what a lot of people, maybe a misconception that people have about text to image is that they can just type in a prompt and then they get the final image. And that's like what people maybe expect. But really, Adobe Firefly is great because it's a tool that you can use and that you want to sort of refine through the process. And so like you found a great way of making it work for you of like, your reference image doesn't even have an octopus in it, but it's got the composition that you're looking for. And so then you can use additional text prompts and references to like get the perfect image.
Exactly, right? So like I would say like sometime like, I hit art block time to time, like ran out of the ideas or like on that day I just don't know what to do, right? So it's fun to come out here and then like testing out different prompt and then, come up with like fun concept. It's like, okay, like what can I do to generate and then make something and then use that as a mood board that I can bring back to Photoshop and using like 3D assets or like photography and other thing, right? And then to combine them back together and then post those as my artwork. Yeah.
Okay, we've got Carol asking, do they all have 8 tentacles?
That I actually don't know, we have to actually count it because I found like different camera angle and stuff. Sometimes it got cut out from there. So let's see, do I have 8 tentacles? Let's take a look.
I think all octopuses have 8. And so I'm like, okay, so
on the AI they have
Firefly knows. Firefly knows they all have 8 tentacles. Sean says I would have had legs, easier to spell. This is true. It is easier to spell legs, but then I don't even want to know what it would have come up with if you had put 8 legs for an octopus. That would have been...
Might confuse AI, right?
Yeah, that would have...
let it be known as like, it's just an octopus.
Yeah, that would have been a little odd, I think.
It's actually pretty funny,
Yeah.
Just like, like, why do you have this? Okay, so... on the left side, if you guys have any questions, also feel free to ask in the chat. It's just like a kind of like getting to know what's new on the Fireflies and Photoshop beta, right? Structure reference. So on the left side, you also have style, the bar right here, the strength, right? So you wanted to make like 100% like super strong, ask the AI to follow every detail of the composition of how you want it, or you can tone it down and then just like give it more creative space and then kind of let the AI take control, right?
Cool. Wow, I'm learning a lot right now. So so these are some tools that I'm still exploring, and so I'm like, okay, good to know. Strength. That's sometimes I find that mine aren't detailed enough, and I'm like, okay, so I'm like playing with different toggles and stuff. Okay, very cool.
So you have the
no.
Oh yeah. So there's also like style reference that you can like pick out this from like photography, photo, or like art, right? So usually I use this for like kind of like a specific tone in photography and something else. For like nighttime, sunshine, like sunrise or sunset. I was like, have a brain fog. Just like, what was the word? Yeah, sunset and sunrise. And different tone, color, cold, warm, or anything. So you can use that. Also, if you want to do like illustration study from like some other artists, or like a style is like someone you want to learn from, right? Or like kind of like something you made from yourself, but like you want to say, hey, I want exactly same thing as that before, then you can use that. So on this, we're not going to use that. We're just going to stick with structured reference, right?
Yeah, I do love the reference tool. I make a fair amount of editorial illustrations in my job, and so I've like established sort of a visual language, color palette, like composition style. And so if I'm like wanting to make a new editorial illustration, I'll use the reference function and put in one of my old illustrations, and then I'm able to text to image, like get a new image sort of based around that original image that I have. It's super helpful.
Okay, so now you see that we got the background reference is working pretty well, but the octopus is no longer going like half in the water, right? It's going up and down in every direction. So I was like, is there any other way we can kind of like control this, right? So this is where we're gonna pop into Photoshop Beta, right? If you don't have it, just go onto your Creative Cloud. You can go All Apps. You can scroll down, and you will see Photoshop Beta. You click Beta, and then this is like all the beta you can try out. So we're gonna use Photoshop Beta, and it's gonna look like this icon, not the same blue color as your regular Photoshop. It's gonna look like a transparent background with the light PS, and then you pop out, you have this right here.
And Photoshop Beta is available to everyone with a Creative Cloud subscription. So anyone is open to trying Photoshop Beta. It's usually got exciting new tools that are maybe a little bit rough or clunky, like haven't fully been ironed out yet into the official Photoshop or sort of the regular Photoshop. But anyone is welcome to try it, and that's where you kind of see the hot new features that are coming.
So far, I haven't had any problem with Photoshop Beta yet. So
no, I haven't either. I haven't either. either.
So I'm pretty happy with it. So when you open Photoshop Beta, you gotta notice some like few new things around. If you haven't opened it, you gotta like see now. On the left side, you have this things called Generative Image, and then you have this work bar right here, which does the same thing. You can import or generate image right here, so we don't have anything. So basically, when you click it, right, it's gonna pop out this window. So it looks almost exactly like Firefly. It's pretty much having the same model, but in to Photoshop Beta right now. Yeah, so if you guys haven't tried it, definitely give Photoshop Beta a shot. For me, I was working on some project lately, and I was just like, hey, you know what, like I'm gonna bring it to beta and then trying to see what it can do for me. So you can type in the same prompt. I just went on Firefly, copied the same prompt, I'm posing here. I just want to see if it gives a similar result or not, right? And then you have the content type as photo and art, so it's very similar interface. The only difference that I see on Firefly is that there is camera angle and then lighting, color, and tone. So this is like different. So like camera angle, you can have like close up, right? You can have like landscape, macro, or like all the different kind. But beta doesn't have it yet, but I'm pretty sure they will have it like soon, right?
Yep.
In effect, it's the same. You have like hyper realistic. So I think like most of the filters available on here, right? So you
cool.
Always stick to hyper realistic, right? Photo. That's why I like to use the most. Okay, so then we're gonna hit generate.
We've got Alessandra in the chat. What's up, Alessandra? We were just hanging out earlier this week in a live stream. Crazies. Okay, what's up? And I think I saw Keys in the chat too. So if anyone, I mean, whoa. Okay. What?
There you go. That's pretend nothing happened there.
What even did it like what?
So I noticed when that happened with that is because, you know, we have submerged underwater and then like side profile view. So sometimes it was like trying to use the person swimming in the water.
Yeah.
As a bit of, but don't worry, I know I was like, oh, we'll be fine. That will happen.
Yeah.
But we'll
every once in a while you get a fun result with.
Yeah. So you can always like also like click. You can like report is this good, poor, or you know like violation. So it's like you can report it. Just like give a feedback to the teams like, hey, this photo is not what I want. You know, this photo is not exactly what I type for. So like let's fix that. But luckily you can just click generate, or there's second and third options of what we want to type, right? So compared to that, to the Firefly, I'll say like the detail is really good on this.
It is, wow.
Yeah. So just like kind of scary how accurate this is, right? And here's the other fun thing.
Like even the tentacles and the suction cups on the tentacles. I saw someone in the chat call out that on one of the results, the tentacles were on the outside, or the suction cups were on the outside of the tentacles, but this is like, I mean, it's like super realistic.
It's pretty good. I would say that obviously if you go like super like zooming, like, there's some like missing that you need to fix it.
Yeah,
right? But I'll just say like for like concept building or for like just having fun or activate your imagination, this is a great way. Just to say, oh, this looks cool. Now I just need to figure out like how to make it look perfect, right? And the other thing I really like with the new thing is that so on the generate image doesn't have it, but on generate fail they have like the new enchants options. So like whatever you generated, and you can make it like more detailed. We'll show that in a second. So either like expanded it or like trying to patch something, or make it like a high resolution to match the original photo. So this is pretty cool, you know. I can see obviously there's some line there, but like does a pretty good job giving like a cloud and then like sky and stuff, right? Okay, so let's say like back into what we want to do, right? We're trying to see if we can have the octopus have submerged into the water, right? So how can we do that? So here's some fun thing I can do. So for example, we want this similar octopus with a similar shape. So what we're gonna do is we are going to see, where is it? It's okay, we'll just press W. So usually under the bar, when you have a new photo, you can select subject, right? It's like one click. I don't see here, it's probably because we are on Generate Image toolbar. But if you just press W or you select tool, the select subject is always out there. So we can click it. It does a really good job, right? So we're gonna clip that. And let's pop into here. If you use the same background, because we like that same background. Right, so we're just gonna...
Yeah, and this is the same background you used to kind of as a reference image for the generative AI.
So basically I just drag it straight onto it, so it import as a smart object, and then I press Command T or Control T on PC, so it does the transformation, and then we're gonna put octopus there. So pretty much what we're gonna do is that we are trying to pre-composite it how we want it to look like, and then throw it back into Firefly to see if it gives us a better result, right?
Yeah.
So we're just testing out like some other fun, like what are some fun ways you can use these tools, right?
Yep. No, totally. I mean, this is like a very creative usage of it, and kind of like working with the technology to get the result that you want.
Yeah, so for people who are not familiar with this, I hope this helps to, help you a better understanding how this tool works. But for other people who are like pretty good with like Fireflies and Photoshop Beta, hopefully I will inspire like a workflow for you, right?
Yep.
It's very different for everyone, because like I always learn new thing like watching other people like, oh, what are you doing? What did you do there, right?
Oh my gosh, we've got Robert in the chat. Oh, all of my live stream friends are joining us today. Thank you for coming.
Celebrity.
Oh, I'm so excited. What's up, you guys?
Yeah.
It looks like, people are even tuning in while they're working, which is awesome. I love just like having us on in the background while you're getting your work done. That's awesome. If we have any questions about Firefly, about generative AI within Photoshop or Photoshop Beta, Ted and I are here to answer questions. And so we're working on a composition right now, but we have some time if we want to, or if you have any questions about how, if you have a question about workflow, or if you've like run into some kind of like question while you've been using generative AI, drop it into the chat because we want to hear from you.
Yeah. Okay, so hop back here. So basically I'm pressing W again using the quick select tool. Or you can also hold Shift and W. It will rotate between the tools on that toolbar, right? So you can do this select subject one, right? This one right here. Object selections, or just quick W. I'm just dragging here because I want to select this part. This is where the water split.
Yep.
So you can either just hold Control and paste, Command C and Control, Command V, right? To put it on top of it and then reduce the opacity. This is one way to do it. Or it's the same thing. You can also create a group for your layers and then put a layer mask on top of that, inverted it, and you can drop the density. So it's the same thing, right? So there's different way to do the same options, but basically what we want to do is just to save this real quick and then test.
Well, and that's what's so cool about Photoshop is that there are so many different ways to do the same-ish thing, right? And it's such a robust tool that, we all kind of like figure out our own ways of working with it to come up with the results that we're looking for. But there's like 500 different ways to do one thing, or like, 5 different ways to do what you just did.
Yeah. So we're going to throw this into structure and reference and then see if it gives us a better result, right? We're also putting the strength all the way up.
Yep.
And generate. So you can see like these are some of the file I tested out yesterday. I was like, hey, do I have to pen it as like a color block? Or can I just use like an actual realistic photo that I don't have any clear details, right? Like which one will actually work the best? So I can also show you the result of that. So it's pretty fun. So
wow,
this is pretty cool. Giving like a pretty detail, like different options, but see as a structure reference is actually keep the pretty similar shape and everything.
Yep. And so that's the octopus that you generated in Firefly.
Yeah.
That then you were like, okay, I like the way that it's laid out. I like the movement of its arms and its positioning in the screen. And so now it's just giving you basically different versions of that same.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. So if you want to see like a stronger result, let's pop back into Photoshop, and then I'm just gonna hide this right here. For example, if I use this PNG, which is also from Adobe Stock, the free sections. So you guys can always download and play with it.
There's free assets on Adobe Stock. Don't forget that.
So basically, I'm just gonna select this gray part, mask it, and then just invert it, right? So because I just want the silhouette. So in the design, I would say one of the best tips that I got from someone is like, hey, when your characters or subjects or something have like a very strong silhouette, it's very easy for people to recognize it, and then you can see it right away. Because your brain kind of like process faster if you see something like very familiar, or like you can easily recognize it. It's like, oh, I know what it is, right? So you look at it right away. So for me, a strong silhouette in my design for like the monsters or giant creatures or like the person that's adventure in it, always have to have like a pretty good silhouette. A good practice way is like taking photography, right? The composition and everything. So for me, I personally just like, okay, I like this octopus silhouette way better than the octopus we have earlier, right?
Yep, that's definitely a very definitive, like anyone in the world who's familiar
like,
with octopuses,
yeah, if you look at
sees that and they're like, that is an octopus. Like,
right.
we know what that is.
Right. So
that's a great tip too for like illustrators and making illustrations. Working with a recognizable silhouette is instantly going to help your audience connect to what it is you are creating that much faster.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, obviously you're doing Illustrator, so you know, right? It's like important, like when you can recognize it, or like if it's like your favorite cartoon character, what do I have? It's like a very easy recognizable silhouette. Like you see the character is like, okay, I know what it is. I know which movie it's from. I know like the design or like the story behind it. Right? So this is one way to do it.
We have a question in the chat. Jeff Miller says, so I know generative fill is limited to 1024 px. Is there a way to precisely expand? Well, so actually, yeah, I think, and then Sean actually, I think, answers that question. Firefly Model 3 is now 2000 by 2000, around that, right?
Yes.
So Model 3 does do larger images.
Let me show you a quick example. I'm just gonna do, actually, I don't know. You should be able to see, right? So I do a generative expand. So when you press C, crop, right? And then you can hit enter real quick. You can expand your canvas, or like, there's like just transparency, nothing happened. Generative fill, generative wave fill is the old tool. And you can use generative expand. So let's say if I want to give it like extra, let's say do it right here, right? Extra length. Let's see if it works. Dun, 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 dun. It should fill it up. We need elevator music.
Yeah, I know,
it's
right?
Like loading. Yeah, I was thinking that. Is that like a universal? See, that's like silhouette, but in music, right? That's like a universal thing that people recognize. So obviously, you can kind of tell, like, above right here.
Yeah, you can see about sort of where.
About right there, right? This is where the line happened. Like right there, you can tell the texture is different. But in the new generated thing, you click on here. You see this little new icon right here? This is my new favorite icon. So when you pressed it, right, you can see it in change detail. So you pressed it, and it's gonna work exactly like how it works before. So you have 3 options you can choose, or you can keep generated. And then like the detail will just enhance it once you press it. Like, let's see, this is before and after. Do I have to zoom in super close? Like before and after.
Okay.
So actually, it probably looks better on the island. There you go. So let's see. This is before and after. Obviously, this is not perfect, but then you have to probably like do like smaller sections for like something detailed. But you can tell like how good it is compared to this is like the old version of it, and then now you have like inch in detail. So I actually tried this on like a landscape and then like a rock and stuff. It actually does a really good job. But so this is like very, very small on your canvas. That's why it's hard to see. But actually, let's pop back into here. All right, I'm gonna hide that again. And then give me a prompt. What should I put there? Something.
I mean, fill. Like on the beach?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Is it like to pirate ship?
Okay.
Do you think it'll be able to do a pirate ship? I don't know. Anyone in the chat have any sort of ideas of what we could put on the beach? Yeah, if you guys have any,
we just want to test it out, the enhance detail function. This is like, it works really well on my other projects. It's like, oh, the little tree didn't do the justice that I just show you guys, Also, because it's a very plain background right there. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, so you can see.
That's honestly better than I was expecting.
Present enhance detail. Okay, that didn't do what I wanted to do. Wait, what happened there? Did I click generate? I think I clicked generate by accident.
Let's see. Jeff says, can you extend the canvas by exactly 200 pixels? Yeah, you can do that.
Yes.
Right? So if you were to go to the crop tool, you could like drag it out by just...
I know. So there's like, you can put like a plugin, not plugin, like a, what do you call it, actions? But pretty much like what you can do is also you can press M. So let's say this is like the canvas expanding you want to do. You can press M. It's like selection, and you can see like it shows you here. You can come in art, and then because I have it on inch as like my design for the print, but you can take that to pixels. Press M, hold shift. You see the pixel right there. So let's say if this is 2000 pixel right there, it will be the best result. Then you can do that, and then generate fill with it.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works better. Because like one of my friends, he did an action thing, so it automatically does that and patch the expanded part with the 2000 pixels on there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a little bit longer, but let's see if it'll do better. That looks way better than like what we had before, right? And then let's see, I like this one, and then enhance the detail. See if it does a better job. Wow, I can see the difference. Obviously, it's not perfect.
Yeah,
but
it sharpens it.
It's a pretty good, right? And then you can like sharpen it differently and then fix like some details and stuff. But I'll say probably I should use like a better example as like something bigger, right? Like a grass hills or like a landscape. But yeah, let's pop onto Adobe Stock.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I don't know, probably another way that you could extend your canvas, Jeff, is if you went to image canvas size, then you would be able to, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, but I think that you could go into image canvas and you could expand the canvas size by the exact amount of pixels that you're looking for. And then you could do generative expand that way, or you could expand the canvas and then use generative fill to then like fill in the expanded areas.
Let's try this one. Gonna pop into here and importing our photo back to here. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do.
Oh, are we gonna do mountains in the background?
No, I just want to see like the generative fill thing again, you know. So let's see if we turn this into like sand dune grass hill. Is there grass hill there? Does that make sense or no?
I don't know.
Try
it. Could.
We'll see.
Why not? It's our world.
Yeah, that's true. It's your world. You can do whatever you want. But I just want to see how the generative fill, if it's better with like something bigger details. You know, if you know like the small pixels there. Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it blended it in really nicely.
Before and after, right? So where is that line? Right there, right? And then we're gonna try to enhance detail. Hopefully it will do a better job. Since it's like a bigger picture, right? Look at that. Yeah, the textures looks way better compared to the tree one. So I'll say like for like bigger landscape and the detail, obviously you can still tell there's a pattern on there. But remember, this is still Photoshop beta. So that means when it's officially ready, it's gonna do some amazing detail. I mean, it's still doing pretty good detail right now, like for the stuff that we're seeing. Right?
Yeah, well, and this is where, you know, because it's Photoshop beta, we are kind of like guinea pigs for this like version.
That is true, yeah.
We're like, right? And so even when you put in and you set, when you click the 3 dots on that little toolbar down there, you can provide feedback on the different results that you get. And so that feedback can be really helpful of like, okay, this actually isn't a great result. So like, and then they can flag it and see, you know, make the changes necessary before they release it into like the final Photoshop.
If you don't see this window, you can just go in here as under properties. So if you click it, you can see this toolbar right here. You can also click reference image. So you can ask Photoshop to generate something, but based on other photo and textures that you want to use, you know, right? So the example on here is that you can see they're using a demo of this girl swiping to a different backpack, which is pretty cool. So I use it for like, for example, like, oh, I like this model's photo on this like landscape. I want to change the dress directions, colors, right, to some other thing I saw, or you want to like, you have a strong reference image, you can use that on here. So it's pretty fun to use. Okay, so what else I was gonna show? There's something I was gonna say. I was like, oh, yes, right here. I think when you click the 3 dots right here, you can report again, but you can generate similar. So it's the same thing. Like if you see something really cool that you really like, just like, hey, I want something similar. Oh, this road looks like it belongs there, like, but we need to fix it. So we can click generate similar and have the same result. And you can always come back to this and change the details. So I'm surprised the grass actually looks pretty good.
I know the grass looks great.
Yeah, let's patch that little dirt area right there, and it looks pretty fun there.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I mean, really, like you said, if you zoom in really close, you can see that it's imperfect. Sometimes there's a little extra blur. The detail hasn't been enhanced in the right way. But like just looking at the image and using it either as a reference image or as a base for an illustration, it is more than enough to kind of like get you started.
We do like matte painting and concept art, but look, so I switched the measurement, right? The ruler, so it's a Command R, Control R if you're on PC, and you click, you switch to inches. So of a 1 inch square, it's about from here to here. This is like 1 inch size. This is what it's gonna look. So it's gonna look like that's the size of that. So you have to be really close up.
Yeah, totally.
To see the texture difference.
Even if you printed this out,
it looks pretty good.
It would look pretty good. So that's awesome. And you took this image from the free section of Adobe Stock.
Yeah, it's
right?
got Adobe Stock. You type in what you're looking for. You can download and practice and play with it, right? So I always like show people like where I got the assets from when doing Adobe Live. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I want to try it too. You know, I want to download and play with it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to know that like generative fill in particular can create such detailed results.
It's getting kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that answers your questions. But if you have other questions, feel free to ask. As a canvas expanding, the 2000 pixels, that's the only way I know how to do it. I think you can also set like the brush size to the same size and then like, pattern it and then fill it up. Beside that, I know you can expand it. You can expand the canvas size by that, but I don't know if that do directly because I think they only do like directionally expanding, right? So that's like different than that, from my knowledge, So if anyone else in the chat knows some really good tips and tricks, tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. Trips and tricks.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what am I saying? Let us know, put in there. We can all learn together. Like sometimes I learn some like really cool things.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, have you tried this? I was like, what? I didn't know that exists. That's so cool.
I know. I mean, half the time when I'm doing these live streams, I learn new things from the chat just as much as I do from like whoever I'm doing the live stream with. So this is all just one big creative community. We're all learning from each other. We're all having fun here. So yeah, if you have tips and tricks or trips and ticks, make sure that you share them in the chat with us.
I got you with that.
It's just the live streaming.
Yeah, so we're gonna try with using like the color blocks or using like the actual image, like if there's an actual difference on there. So let's start with the color block. So we're jumping back into Fireflies.
Okay.
For now, and then we'll play with like. So in this case, I'm kind of like using Firefly on the go, kind of like the main engine, and I'm gonna use like Photoshop as like kind of helping, right, to generate closer to what I want. But obviously, like we can break it down and do. So this is like with the color block, looks like pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that one's pretty nice.
Yeah, the lighting too is really, it's like really impactful.
Some light is working, some light looks like slightly off, right?
Like not quite realistic.
So then we're gonna try with the realistic photo, but then silhouette main character. So we're gonna see. But if it works, that's great. If it doesn't, we can generate similar, generate a new one. Yeah.
Daryl says, hello, Mr. Sean. Great stream today. Was Sean streaming earlier today? I don't know. I don't know. We just got to the studio right before the stream, so I haven't been online.
Let's see. I want to take a closer look of this is our source image. Okay, I see. So there is light source there, but it's okay. We just keep generating until we find something we like.
Sean, tell us what was your live stream today? What were you streaming? Were you streaming on Behance, YouTube? We've got some professional streamers in the chat for sure.
Woo-woo. Okay, let's see. Do I have anything I like? I'm gonna try to keep going till I find something I like,
Yeah, those ones aren't like as photorealistic as some of the first ones, it seems like.
Yeah, let's see. It's a hit and miss.
Yeah.
But that being said, also you could pop back into Photoshop, and then instead of silhouette, we'll actually use octopus. I don't know why he's in that shape. I thought it was really funny.
What's he doing?
I don't know, but
maybe he's sad because he's not in water.
Maybe
he does look kind of like he's like
So
he's thirsty.
Again, you can find some cool octopus photo from Adobe Stock. Maybe not this one, but it is on there. And when you import it, you can see like now you have select subjects or remove background. So you can either click it, do your own masking, so you can get that right, or you can just like be even faster, just click remove background and it does the job for you.
I love that tool.
Oh yeah, and talking about that, when you remove background, the Photoshop beta have this really fun thing. Right after you do that, you can either import a background back or you can generate background. So it's pretty much same as the generate image, but now you can do it with like if you have a clear subject.
Yep.
So we can try that. Let's just type ocean beach. And we're gonna see how's the result. I'm not sure. Sometimes he does a really good job. Sometimes just like, oh, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that like little demo example that they showed with the perfume bottle and like showing it on different like fabrics or like lighting behind it, that seems like a super great kind of like ideal usage for it.
Let's see. Yeah, so if you're a product photographer,
Yep.
retoucher, right, you just like want to take out the whole thing and generate like a plain background, clean background, color background is gonna work perfectly. For some reason, it wouldn't let me generate right here. It's okay. We'll try on something else. But, well, what if I just leave it blank?
See what it generates?
Yeah.
Maybe it's confused because it sees that it's already in the water.
I think it's because the silhouette of the octopus is odd, you know?
Yeah.
It looks like a face or head.
Well, and that's kind of like what you were talking about too, of having a recognizable silhouette versus like a less recognizable silhouette. And so like generative AI is working based off of like a massive library of images. And so like maybe it's just confused because what it thinks of as an octopus is like a slightly different.
Right. Oh, that's a cute octopus.
That is cute.
Let's see.
Look at that. Why is that one on a roof?
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Why is that on the roof? I was just looking at that's a sculpture. I was like, that's a great silhouette, and then and then you see that what is it doing on the roof? I was like, I didn't think about it. Okay, we're not gonna try to use octopus. Yeah. So okay, we'll show that later, but let's see if this one works. Actually, I have a pre-saved one, so we're gonna pop back into here. I just want to show you. This is the task we're gonna do, and we're gonna throw in there. And then see. Oh, also I have the strength all the way up, so I could like infect it differently too.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna see.
Yeah. So what you could probably do is like turn the strength down, get a rougher one, and then maybe use that as a reference image for like a higher strength one.
So we're testing like with the color block, the actual
Okay.
octopus. So let's say I'm gonna put half strength and give AI a little bit more creative space, you know, because as you say, right, the silhouette of the octopus was really weird.
Yeah.
It's a sad octopus, but he's gonna be happy soon.
So Sean, you stream on Behance, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, character animator film. I don't know what character animator film is.
I know character animation.
Yeah, I'm familiar with half of that, but not all of that. All the major streaming groups. And he says he loves the character of this octopus does have a lot of character.
It doesn't have a very strong character.
It's got a personality. Like, I feel like if this octopus could speak, I kind of know what it would say and what it would sound like.
Is it bad? I kind of want you to say what it sounds like. My sounds like.
I feel like it's like kind of like Eeyore. I'm like, he's very like mopey and kind of sad. Like his eyes are a little droopy.
But see, we're getting like a better result. Obviously, that is
a spare tentacle.
But we're gonna see if we press generate similar and what else we can get, right? And we can use that as a structured reference.
Yeah. Wow, this is amazing. I mean, it's just like been so cool watching your process. Like it's so iterative and like building on itself to create the perfect image that you're looking for.
It takes time, but it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
Technically, I kind of really like this. I just need to clear the bottom part.
Yeah.
So
which is like what would be super easy to do.
Yeah, we're just gonna take that away.
I like it. He looks kind of sleepy too.
Sleepy.
He's just hanging out in the
The
sunshine.
tentacle does definitely looks a little bit weird, but it's kind of fun, you know. Just it's a pattern.
Yeah, it's a cool image.
Take your time.
Cross between a sloth and an octopus.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds like scary cool.
It does. I'm wondering what generative AI would come up with if we put a sloth octopus. Sloth-octopus.
I just did that. So here's the other thing I realized, like, because I took that out, but I'm just trying to go back to before, but now it's gone. That happens. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna go back. What is it? Octopus, submerge, have.
Halfway in the ocean, top of head above water, side
Okay.
profile.
I think, do I have a prompt for that? Wait, say that again? Sorry.
Octopus submerged halfway in the ocean, side profile,
There you go.
with top of the head above water,
Oh.
maybe, if you want to.
Wait.
And this is also a good case for you've been saving your reference images. And so that way, like, you've got, like, part of your process sort of, like, documented. So if you want to, you can, like, pop in an old reference image and...
And we're gonna... It's okay. I have all the reference I need on Earth. Actually, we're gonna try something else with that. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna drag this into here because on the final image we saw it was like a nighttime, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna see nighttime photography with, I don't know if I want to put moon yet. And then we're gonna put hyper realistic, and then photo generative. See what it gives us. So this is just also like using the same structures, what's similar, right? And then turn that into like a nighttime, see if it works or if not.
Robert says tips the browser back arrow. So maybe like, I think you got lost in the process because you hit the like back arrow for the text to image instead of the browser back image, and so maybe that's why it like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like clicking this and all that. But I think I clicked that, right?
No, I think he's saying browser instead of that one. Yeah.
Oh, smart. Because I was like struggling with it. Okay, so this is definitely completely different. Nighttime ocean.
With moon and clouds. Your original image had a moon and clouds.
Let's try that. So I forgot what I did there. Because I know I did turn it into, maybe I need to type like split water.
Well, and you had a good reference image there of the moon. Well, yeah, those are pretty good.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, like split, so, split surface underwater maybe?
Underwater, maybe that's what I was missing, you know.
Because your reference image is that. It does have the sort of like, there you go.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Well, even like the bubbles, it's like the octopus just left.
Yeah, so if we just download this, so we can show you again the same method we did earlier, right? You just go in here, and we're gonna throw that onto the top, doing this, and then we're just gonna use the silhouette instead. Oh, we can use this one.
Okay,
this one's kind of cool.
That worked out.
I forgot about you. This is the same one we had with we generated earlier with Firefly. So I got pressing W, right click, delete layer mask, creating a new one, and then reduce that. If that's too fast, what I just did, pretty much I just select this area and then create a layer mask on top of it. I didn't have the icon turned on, so it looks like I'm working on something invisible, but just because, you know, I'm used to like, I know like what it does. I'll just, okay, you know what, like that'll be cool. So we're gonna use that as a reference. Actually, I don't really like the silhouette. I think he's like kind of odd. So we're gonna put him back. Put it on there. We can try both actually.
And I am just going to do a really quick time check. So we do have about 10 minutes. And so if we've got anyone in the chat with final questions, while we've still got Ted here working on this project, and now's the time to put them in. We are doing a series of live streams today from the studio. And so we're going to have Anjali come in, and she's going to host me. I'm going to do some generative work in Firefly on the browser. Then I'm going to do some garden party branding in Photoshop, then take it over into Adobe Express. And then, let's see, then Ted, you're going to host Anjali for more compositing work, advanced, intermediate compositing.
Yeah, it will be the same thing, but we'll probably more use like using Photoshop and just building every asset in Photoshop beta and then trying to composite back.
Cool. Okay. And then we're going to do creating really fast content in Adobe Express with Anjali, and I'll be hosting her for that. And so make sure you stick around. We've got a full day of live streaming for you. And so if you've got any questions about Photoshop, Firefly, Adobe Express, today is your day. We've got the content for you.
Today is the day. Okay, so I just create one is with the silhouette and the other one's with the octopus, and then we throw into structured reference, and we're gonna see like if it gives us pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. It's like he's reaching up for the moon.
Yeah, you know, it's dancing under the moon.
He's saying hi.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
That one's great. Yeah, the lighting on that one, you can see his face, his eye really well.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
The moon's like.
This one looks pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on in the moon? It's like a whole other planet up there.
And then we're gonna toss this one in. So it's just like showing you guys that, you know, there's a lot of things you can do jumping between the program, but obviously you can stay in Photoshop beta with most of it right now. So, you know, you don't have to like, you know, like if you have a slow internet, right? Like, there's like, I just want to stay in one place. Like my computer can run both programs at the same time. But this one looks pretty fun. And I'll say like, for example, if I want to use this one, right? We can also generate similar, but I do want to download this one.
Yeah.
And what you could do is pop into here. And I know this is looking crazy and crazy. I just have like 30 photos in like one folder.
Listen, this is the process of an artist.
I know, right? So if you just want to make it look like slightly better or more realistic, fix like the crop, and then I would do like selecting this and kind of just turn it down like darker, right?
Yeah, it's pretty bright.
Darker, and then you can also add into click color. I'm gonna clip it here. I'm gonna group this two and put it onto there, so it's only affecting that. And you can turn the water to like kind of like underwater color, right? Darker,
Nice.
deeper, more green, and different things. Just kind of like give it like a different color contrast on there. You can also use saturation, hue, just make it more desaturated, whichever you want to use, right?
Yep.
So the eyes need to be fixed too, but like, you know, overall it's kind of pretty cool. And then you can move stuff around, say like, hey, I want the moon lowers and stuff, right? So I wonder if we can just replace the moon.
Yeah, the moon's like, it's definitely not quite.
Yeah, moon in the sky.
Sean says, that's no moon.
And meanwhile, we're doing that. So this is the other generative simulator. So it's like a very different result on the fireflies. And I kind of like this octopus design. It's just because I'm a huge fan of monsters.
Yeah, that's a scary looking art with the multiple eyes too.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like double octopus. I should probably come up with a better name. Did I replace the moon? Okay, I know why. It's because I put in the wrong layers. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so you have a better moon. I definitely like this one. Well, that's weird. You saw that, right? It
like switched.
Yeah, it switched. But yeah, this moon looks pretty good to me. This is a great circle. The cloud and everything looks great. I can also enhance the detail to make it blend with the sky, you know. Then we have an octopus in the thing, and then you can do like some other more editing like at the bottom. So on the right side adjustment layer, I have like all these single adjustment layers, so I can just like click it and use it. Cause like that's just how personally I like to use it. Yep. Everybody use it different, right? Because you can go on like image, then you got layer styles, and all this different thing you can do. But personally, I think like it's just so easier just to have this right here.
Yep.
Adjustment, right? So I can click. So all this is like most of the tool that I use for photo blending.
Yep.
And on top of that, we can do like some pretty simple like color. Let's see, gradient. Where's my gradient?
Oh my God, Clever said ceviche. Yum yum. Oh, Clever. We don't want to eat the octopus, but not gonna lie, I do love ceviche. So sorry, octopus.
It happens, you know.
Ceviche. That's so. I'll put ceviche into my garden party branding menu. So how about that? We'll get our ceviche fix.
Oops, sorry, I'm not trying to use gradient map. That's what I was looking for. I was like, where is it? So basically, what I do with gradient map, let's see, it's pretty much blue or green. Do I have green up here? It's okay. I'll show you. So usually I like to pop into gradient map, and you're probably looking at, oh, what is going on here, right? And then I change the blend mode to like soft light.
Nice.
Do something, and then kind of like you want to play around to see like what color you want for the shadow and what color you want for the highlight. So you know we can just always pop in here, like double click that color bar and click this icon again. You can change the color by like seeing that, hey, I want the shadow to be like very dark green, or like kind of this like moody vibe. Click OK.
That's great. It creates more consistency in your overall image too. Just like sort of blends it all into one color map, which is
kind of like a better like color grading for that. Click that. Click OK. Then you can reduce that, and then obviously I think the water on there just need to be like dim last green color maybe, right? Definitely darker. Bright is kind of cool, but definitely need to make it more realistic, right? And then for something like even more fun, right? So let's say we have 2 minutes. So you can actually generate fill, probably might work or might not work, but you can put like a little diver right here, right? Let's say there's a diver, he has an oxygen tank, and he's like shining like a light to like the octopus, right? So it's like a pretty fun concept. It was like, oh, he's like swimming and hanging out around,
Yeah.
you know, this is where you go into like adding little details, like putting like something else you want to do, like with the concept and stuff, right?
You can do little fishies swimming around.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. So it's like the fun part. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's first section. Just like a fun way, like what you can do with some of Firefly's new features and some other things on Adobe Photoshop Beta. Remember, it's beta, not the regular version. It's beta, but it will be available soon, hopefully. But beta is free for everyone. You can, if you have the subscription, just go on there, download it, and you can play with it. The generate image reference, and then you have all this fun thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ted. And guys, make sure you stick around. We've got a full day of live streaming for you. We've got a lot more work in Firefly. We've got Ted. He's doing more surreal compositing in Firefly and in Photoshop. Today at, let's see, I'm reading the schedule right now in real time. At 11 o'clock a.m., I'm going to be doing some Firefly work at 10 o'clock. We're going to do some branding project in Photoshop, Adobe Express. We've got it all for you. So make sure you stick around. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you very soon.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
For today, I would show you guys the ways that you could incorporate digital backdrops into your studio photography. So let's start with separating our subject from the background. I do think it's very important to shoot against a background that's very easy to separate your subject from. Now, we're going to go to select. You are shooting with your subject contrasted against the background. Color range is actually great because it means it will just grab that color. Making sure that the eyedropper tool is selected, you're just going to select anywhere on that blue and select the plus and just select the rest of the blue gradients that have naturally fallen off where the lighting is. And as you can see, it did a pretty good job. My next option is selecting the subject. Again, in the select panel, you can go down to select subject. We can see it actually did a much more nuanced select. And you see, it didn't do the best job on the bag, whereas this did a pretty grand job. So for example, I could do a little cheeky trick here, and then in this layer mask, I could delete everything else that I don't need. And eventually we will get to a place where we've got that back. So as you saw, her hair had a lot of these flyaways. So I'm gonna make a new layer. I just use like a general brush. I'm gonna go now to Window to Brush Settings. I'm going to click on Shape Dynamics. I'm going to go to Fade, and then I'm going to change the fade to 500, perhaps. As you can see, the brush tapers off at the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and start quickly selecting colors from the head and just drawing these flyaways. Now we're going to blend it in. This is honestly my favorite thing, layer masks. The most versatile thing in Photoshop are these layer masks. They just help you have such control. Making sure that my layer mask is selected and make sure that my brush tool is set to black. Lightly with my brush strokes, those edges of the hair are being blended into her head. And voila, we've got some hair. You can go in with the blur tool and blur this a little bit. So we've brought our backdrop in, we like it. How do we make it look real? First thing, blur it a little bit in the background because again of the natural fall off of that depth of field. For blurring, there's a couple of ways. One is a Gaussian blur, which is pretty much what most people do. And I'm going to go to my adjustment panel, I'm going to go to brightness and contrast and just reduce the brightness a tad. I like to add my shadow just going to the curves panel and dragging the middle pointer down. So the lighting is coming from this side, so I guess the shadow would be falling on this side. I'm going to open up a new layer. I'm going to call it color. Now over here in the drop down menu, I'm going to go ahead and set that to a color blend mode. I'm going to clip that using the option tool, hovering between the layers. I'm going to clip it. Now anything that I brush on this color layer is only going to affect my subject. I'm going to set my flow to low. I usually like to leave my flow to around 9%. Now as you can see, I'm just selecting from the hair and I'm just lightly brushing, and all of that blue is slowly but surely melting away. And voila, just like that, she's embedded into the scene.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Bella. We really appreciate it. Your work is absolutely incredible. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. Bye.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Anjali from Gama and I'm gonna be your host for the next hour. I'm so excited to get started. We have Cory here who's gonna talk about a DIY garden party branding. So just handing it all to you, Cory.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. If you guys are tuning in from the last live stream where I was hosting Ted, so happy to have you here. We've got Paco, Sean, Robert. Sorry, I shouldn't clap in front of the microphone. Joshua's here. What's up, Joshua? I saw a lot of old familiar faces in the chat. I did a live stream from my house earlier this week.
Oh, perfect.
And so I'm seeing all my friends tune in. So
That's
I'm just
awesome.
really excited to be here. But yeah, thank you for hosting me. I'm excited to be here.
Tell us what you're gonna show today and what you're gonna present during the live, all the different Adobe apps that you're gonna cover.
Yeah, so we're gonna be looking at or creating garden party branding. And so we're gonna be working in a variety of different Adobe softwares. We're gonna probably start off in Adobe Firefly on the web browser, then we'll move over into Photoshop, and then we'll hit Adobe Express for creating some like Instagram templates and sharing out like shareable, editable templates from Express. Oh my gosh, Alessandra, what's up? Thank you for sticking around. Catherine, hi again. Jeff, Umacorn, hi Umacorn. All my friends are here.
I love how all your friends are here to support you. We love supporting
I know.
friends. Yeah.
So just really quick about me. We've got my website up on the screen. So I'm a graphic designer. I've been working in graphic design for the last 9 or so years, which is like an absolutely crazy amount of time to be.
Yeah.
I like say it, and every time I say it, I'm
OG.
like, oh, holy cow, like 2014. So like 10 years now. But I am a full-time graphic designer at Stanford University, where I do a lot of like brand work. I do editorial design, I do web design, social content design, and then I do a fair amount of freelance work. And so I work with digital publishing startups. I've worked with local governments, package design agencies, a fair amount of Adobe live, education, streaming.
So you do everything.
I do a lot of things.
Yes.
I do a lot of things. Like
Love
most
that.
of us. I've done like Instagram face filters. I've done, I don't know, Instagram carousels. Who hasn't done an Instagram carousel? Editorial illustrations, like I mentioned, podcast branding, all sorts of things. And so if you want to check out my website, it's coryallenhall.com. Follow me on Instagram if you want to connect. I post, I don't know, like regular shenanigans on Instagram, and also like invitations that I've made, or like greeting cards and stuff like that. So yeah.
I love how artsy your feed is. Like, even though you're just posting randomly, like you can tell that you're a designer.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a mismatch, but I have fun with it. I try to not put too much pressure on myself for the gram.
Yeah.
Sean says my garden parties have too many ants and just bugs in general. Yeah. I mean, that comes with the territory.
Maybe we can add that in the invite too. Little bugs.
I don't know. I don't know if I want ants on my garden
kidding.
party.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know. We're open to suggestions here. So really quick, before we like dive in too much, just part of my own graphic design. Wait, what? The website is not updated, Cory. I know. Okay, sorry. Parts of my website are not updated, so don't read me too hard on the internet. But yeah, I need to update some sections of my website. But part of my process, part of my design process, and what's really kind of like integral to the work that I produce is creating and starting with a mood board. And so like my mood boards typically start with color inspiration, typographic inspiration, design, composition inspiration. And so for my garden party invites, I wanted to go kind of a little bit unconventional. I wanted to like play around with some cool typography, some color blocking. I really like the composition of this vintage poster. I think this is from their magazine. Yeah, the magazine that ignores the boundaries. There's a letterform archive in San Francisco that has amazing archive work of a lot of like really old vintage magazines, posters, advertisements, and stuff. And that's where I pulled this from. Okay. They've got like this old vintage recipe card here, which I really like, which is actually, I'm going to use this for some of my source images in Firefly. I really like the composition. I really like the color palettes. This kind of gingham cover on the cookbook. Raphael, yeah, you should apologize for calling out my website. Okay. I don't need you fact checking my website. So yeah, this is the general inspiration. This is like a design that I made I don't know, last summer, I guess, that I like the format of and the color palette of. And so,
So, Cory, when you sit down and like when you're hunting for inspiration, what are your go-to sources? Like, how do you start?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I definitely browse a lot on Instagram. My Instagram saves are thick. Like those folders are just like they're organized. I've got typographic, design, web, content, like just so many different folders. So Instagram for sure. I love going to Behance as just a really great tool for seeing like full flushed out projects. Like you can filter by design, typography, packaging, all these things. And so then you can see not only like one image from a source, but you can see someone's entire project, which is really great and super inspirational.
Love that. Yeah.
And then Pinterest, of course. And then, like I mentioned, like Letterform Archive, like vintage archive sources. A lot of people have documented a lot of design on the internet. And so there's like a very rich, like, I don't know, library of content that you can draw from online that is more than just Instagram or...
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
The social places. Alessandra says, ooh, love this mold board, Cory.
Mood board.
This is Garden Party, and we don't want it to be moldy, okay? We want it to be fresh. So taking from this like mood board here, then I kind of blew out a couple of like potential color palettes. And so I pulled using sort of the color palette picker tool in InDesign. And I did say I was going to be working in Photoshop, which I will be, but I like to build my mood boards, mold boards in InDesign. You can have this color palette picker. And so I used this color palette picker in InDesign and just like built out a couple of these with potential typography that I might want to use. I built out a potential menu that could go into the invites. I did 2 of them. So I don't know. I mean, in the chat, people in the chat, do we have a favorite? 1 or 2? I'm kind of leaning towards 1 myself.
Yeah.
I like
has
the
the
kind
earthy
of
colors.
Yeah, it has the earthy colors, but this one is nice. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a cocktail, like an Aperol spritz or something with the red and the green.
Yeah. People in the chat, let us know what you prefer, 1 or 2.
Yeah, let us know. So, okay. So, like I mentioned, we're going to go over to Firefly. I've got some recipe cards in here that I'm going to use for inspiration in Firefly. This is my Instagram, firefly.adobe.com. So,
we have 2 votes for 2.
Okay, 2.
Sean and Raphael both won. Number 2.
Whew, that's not the one I would have picked, but I asked people to vote and the people have voted, so I guess this is just what we're gonna do.
We've got 4 votes now, so.
2.
Yeah.
Browns are too brown. Okay, I hear that. The browns are pretty brown. So, for my garden party, well, let's see. What did I put on the menu again? I can't remember. Dessert, poached blood oranges with olive oil cake and mango sticky rice ice cream.
I see.
Have you ever had mango sticky rice ice cream before?
No.
Let me tell you, it tastes exactly like mango sticky rice. It's so good.
Okay.
So for my prompt for Firefly, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to do oranges with a cake.
I like that.
Let's do oranges with a cake on a glass cake stand, neutral background. And we're just going to kind of see healthy food concept. No, thank you. I don't want that. Floral design in the decor, fruit, dessert, diet, vegan. No, that's healthy food, vegan for my cake? I don't think so. That's crazy. Okay. So, so this is just like sort of the initial prompt. We're going to see what it generates. It's probably not going to be exactly what I'm looking for. Absolutely not what I'm looking for. Okay, so we've got our reference image here, right? Of like, I like this composition. I like even the color palette, like the highlights are brought way down. It's kind of muted. And so I'm going to change my composition to portrait. I'm going to change content type to photo. And I'm also just going to call it, I'm on Firefly Image 3 preview. So this is kind of like the enhanced version of Firefly. Structural reference. And so I do have, I'm going to open up, where's my Finder? We're going to open up Finder. I've got a couple of reference images. And so I'm going to drag in my reference image here, continue. And we're just going to adjust some of the settings here to just make sure, because this, I'm going to just save it just so that we have it and just, I don't know, we can see where we started and where we're going.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So structural reference. So I just inserted the structural reference. we're going to bump up the visual intensity. We want it to be pretty strong. Reference image as well. I like the color palette of the reference image, and so we're hoping to get something similar to that. Effects, we've got hyper realistic color and tone. I'm gonna do muted color, lighting. I don't know. Let's leave that for now. And then that feels like a good place to start.
We have a question from Raphael. Does InDesign have Firefly 3 too?
I don't know. It might. We can go and find out. Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, Photoshop would have it because InDesign is more for laying out. It's more for editorial design. I don't think that it does. Maybe we've got someone in the chat who knows, but I'm pretty sure I can confidently say that it does not. So this is interesting.
That's pretty good, yeah.
I wouldn't have put this frame around it, but I kind of like where it's going.
Yeah.
It's got the muted color palette that we're looking for. This is it's giving bougie. It's giving fancy garden party, which I'm kind of here for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't look vegan.
No, it does not look vegan, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry if we got any vegans in the chat, but no, we don't want it. You're welcome to my garden party, and I will put vegan items on the menu for you, but this cake is not going to be vegan.
Not the invite, just the menu.
Okay, so I just saved that one. I don't know, people in the chat, if you've got other ones that you like, because I like this bottom one the most, I'm going to hit edit and then generate similar. And we're going to see kind of what we come up with. I'm honestly sort of hoping it generates some without a border for me because I don't really want the border. Okay, there you go. Ask and you shall receive. Although still, I mean, this one is the best.
Maybe we can ask for a border for the rest of them.
Yeah, let's just see. Let's see what it does. Okay, so I've got my favorite one saved, which is this one.
Let's making everyone hungry in the chat.
Good. You guys are all invited to my garden party. It's gonna be next weekend in Portland, Oregon, which is where I live. I don't live in San Francisco anymore. Oh, weird. Okay, I said with a border, and now none of them have borders. But that's okay. Okay, I think I have the image that I like the best. It should be in my downloads.
Yep. Curious if you have ever tried using the new one as the reference and then...
Yeah, so that's a really good idea. And what I think that I'll do is, so I've got my orange cake here. I want to include a few different images in my invitations just so that we have options to work with. And so what I'll do is I'm going to generate, let's see what it looks like just doing sort of what you suggested and see what it comes up with.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hyper realistic, muted colors, lighting, none. Portrait. Okay, I think we've got, the strength is up. Visual intensity. We want it to be really intense. And I'm going to use the similar sort of prompt. Oranges with a cake on a glass cake stand on a neutral background.
Do you want to say with a border or just, I guess it'll just take it from the reference image?
Yeah, let's see what it takes from the reference images.
Sounds good, yeah.
I'm going to say not vegan. Just because we're being cheeky. Joshua, what's up? Umacorn, Keys, Alessandra. This stream gonna make me hungry and I just ate lunch. I'm hungry too. I barely had any breakfast today.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. This looks
Love
good.
That. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys.
They're all so good.
They're all so good. I'm gonna get so many RSVPs to my garden party. Garden party go off. Okay, so we've got our first image. I like this one. I'm gonna just bring it into Photoshop really quick. And because we're creating for Instagram right now, because when are we not creating for Instagram? Yeah. Instagram has us in its clutches. I'm gonna just do the usual Instagram portrait size 1080 by 1350. I'm gonna take the image that I just generated and just kind of drop it in here for now, just so that I'm keeping track of it. Okay. And the way that I like to work too is I'm gonna do new artboard. I like to kind of work in artboards just so that I can, if I'm making a series of things, I can kind of look at them side by side. And so we've got our orange cake. What else was on the menu? Let's see. Mini caprese skewers. Prosecco served with olives. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote that. Prosecco and olives sounds kind of weird. I was in the back of an Uber on the way from the airport.
I
So I was like hungry and thinking about a bunch of things. Spaghetti with anchovies, chili, and okay, let's do this one. Let's just kind of see what it comes up with. And you might be thinking, spaghetti at a garden party? What are you thinking? That's crazy. But let me tell you.
I think it works.
Right? I mean, like, sitting on a beautiful gingham blanket in the sunshine eating spaghetti.
Love
like,
that. Yeah.
What more could
Works
you
for me.
possibly want? Pangrattato. Like, I don't know. Is it going to put an anchovy on the top of the spaghetti?
And your reference is still the orange cake.
Wait, ew. This is not good.
Probably because of the reference.
Ew,
Okay, I'm not hungry anymore.
Okay, Alessandra, are you still hungry after looking at this? Leah says so pretty.
I think that was before you generated that.
Yeah, Leah,
Yeah, I'm
are you
pretty
seeing what
sure.
we're seeing? Okay, I am gonna download this because this is hilarious, and this would be kind of funny as like a I don't know, like a spoof garden party invite. Okay, but we're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna remove the reference image. Let's see what other reference images did I save? We don't want to look at my fidelity banking details. Okay, this one might be a better reference image. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure our settings are all good. Strength we can bump up. Visual intensity. So this is a structural reference. This is just like more of an artistic reference. I do kind of want it to retain the same color palette, and so let's see. We honestly just might need to get rid of the anchovies in this prompt too, because I think it's getting confused and it doesn't understand the nuance of anchovy sauce.
Right.
It's just thinking we want anchovies on top of that.
Okay.
Meritopusism. Like, it's... Ew.
Why does it say all that though?
I don't know. Probably because there are words in the reference image. We're going to get rid of anchovies.
Okay.
Spaghetti, chili, and Parmesan cheese. Just keeping it real simple.
I think you gotta up your game because people are not hungry anymore.
I know. Jeff says, and I just lost my appetite. What's going on? I lost my appetite. Oh no! All of a sudden, people are RSVPing no to the garden party. I lost them. Okay, this looks better though. So we're gonna download that one. There, look at the funny carrot in the background.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a random carrot just hanging.
Now
and
there's
a starfish.
Like octopus.
I don't know.
What? And now starfish and an octopus tentacle. It's still thinking I'm with Ted right now. It's thinking we're doing octopus. Okay. Well, okay. So we're gonna keep it rolling. We don't want to run out of time here. So I'm gonna take my downloads. Look at all these bananas images. Okay. We're gonna put these two in. And I do think that I'm gonna crop them both in. Okay. We're going to be working with a couple of different compositions. And so I do have sort of like slight compositions in mind, but the idea is to just create a like cool branded garden party invitation. And so going back to my mood board here, we've got a lot of big color blocks. We've got big typography. We've got some typefaces that I really like. I don't know what AI chef is going on here, but it needs to change. Haha. I don't know. Maybe Firefly's onto something. So let's see. Garden party is my text. Oh, and you know what I do want to do is because we're going to be taking this over into Express, I want to create a new library. Let's see. Where CC libraries? There we go. So I'm going to, just for like demonstration purposes, I'm going to create a new library. I'm going to call this Garden Party Branding. And so if we've got people in the chat who aren't familiar with CC libraries, make sure you check them out. They're super, super helpful. I don't know, you use CC libraries all the time because you work a lot in Express.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to add some of my... Go away, I don't want to take a tour. I already know things. Okay.
Yeah, but tell us a little bit about how you use the CC libraries.
Yeah, so, I've got some color palettes established here in InDesign. And so what I'm doing is I'm going through and adding them, the different colors as colors. into my CC library. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me access to all of these colors across the Creative Cloud library apps. Perfect. And so when I go over into Photoshop, I will have these same colors right there with me. I don't need to go and copy and paste color codes. Yeah. If I go into Express, they will also sync there. And even if I wanted to, I could add these images as well. I could just add it as a graphic, and that way I've got some of my reference images in here too. Yeah. And so that way it's all just kind of like living in the same library. And another good thing that I will probably end up doing is adding some of these Firefly generated images into my library as well. But yeah, for now,
I think a lot of us are huge fans. Even Joshua in the chat says life wouldn't be the same without CC libraries. Like I feel you. Yeah.
It has like changed the way that I work, let me tell you. And so you can see I went over into Photoshop, I opened up CC libraries, and now I've got all my color palettes.
Right there.
Right there. Perfect. They're all right there waiting for me. And so now I can just kind of begin executing on my vision. And we're kind of following, especially that, hey, go away, properties. We're kind of, what I've got in mind in particular is I really like this emigre cover. I really like the color blocking of this and the way that the images are laid out in here. And so we're just gonna kind of emulate that a little bit with our design. And so I'm just using like really simple, my properties keep on popping up and I'm like gonna need them to not pop up like that. There we go. So
Jeff in the chat says maybe we should switch to ice cream for the image.
You know, Jeff, I think that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think that switching to ice cream is probably a good idea. But I'm gonna not do that right now. I'm gonna keep on making this invitation. Like we could, I don't know, let's see how ice cream comes out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I wanna like, we're gonna change our structural reference. We're gonna go over to this because I do feel like this could work well for a structural reference for ice cream.
Okay.
Spaghetti ice cream. Just kidding. No. We're gonna do mango sticky rice ice cream. And let's just see. That might like in a glass vintage bowl.
Love that.
Let's see. It might get confused because like mango sticky rice ice cream is probably not like a super
visually
common
appealing. I don't know.
I don't know what it looks like. Is it gonna put like rice and mangoes on top of ice? See, I think maybe, you know what? Maybe because my structure reference is so strong,
just mimics it completely.
It's mimicking it too much. And so let me turn up the structure, turn down the style, and let's see how that does it.
Okay.
Libraries is life and time saving. All my assets, different devices, libraries, not only useful but essential. Please AI, don't get it twisted with ice cream. It's better.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of weird looking.
It has oranges instead of mangoes.
Like round mangoes. Yeah. It's making me hungry again, though, so you can tell that it's working.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joshua says don't get AI confused with AI, as in Adobe Illustrator confused with AI.
Yeah.
You can get spaghetti ice cream in Italy.
Oh, really?
Sign me up. That sounds really good. I've never been to Italy.
Yeah, me neither.
Really like to go.
To try spaghetti ice cream?
Specifically to try spaghetti ice cream.
Sounds like a plan. Leah says it looks so fancy, so we're on the right track.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's looking fancy. I don't want it to feel like stuffy or pretentious, but I do want it to feel like a special treat for people. And I like this typeface too because it is kind of, it's a little bit retro, but still feels sort of like modern. I'm just gonna go in and adjust the kerning because I am perfectionist. I'm thinking I might add the menu in here. This might be a good place. It might be a little too narrow, so let's see. Copy and paste this menu over here. Bring the font size down. And if there's anything in particular, that you guys want me to spend more time on, if you want to do more AI stuff in Firefly, if you want to spend more time in Photoshop, if you want to spend more time in Express, we can streamline our workflow process here. I do want to make sure that we have time to get into Express. So I am working a little bit quickly here. Let's see. I do like this typeface better. Syncopa. Kind of sounds Italian.
Yeah.
Syncopa.
It is a little tiny.
It's pretty small, especially if this is going to live on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, couple of things. One is that the frame on this is not the same there. And then, you know what though? I think we're just gonna get rid of the frame entirely. We don't need the frame. We're gonna instead do something like this. And that way that buys us more room for our menu.
Yeah.
And maybe even a little bit of extra height as well.
And what are you gonna do with the background?
I think I'll probably do another color block in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And this is nice because it's almost like, I like it's a little bit more subtle. It's like alluding to the cake. It's like, ooh, there's forks peeking out in the background, but it's not like hitting you over the head with it.
And it looks very clean overall, especially with the crop.
Yeah. Okay. Boop. And then we're gonna change our crop just a little bit here. Ooh, there you go.
So Raphael says, as a reminder, they chose the second design, but they don't want to interrupt your creative flow. Well, that's exactly what you're doing.
Raphael, I was really hoping that you wouldn't notice. Okay, fine. We'll change the color palette. Okay, so I think we had
the pink. Yeah.
Pink, and then this kind of like lighter green. Mm-hmm. And then I think what I'll do, I do feel like, see, the problem is we've got oranges and then we've got this kind of like red. Raphael, you're always holding me accountable, okay? And I appreciate you for that. In this instance, I'm mad at you. But for the most part, I appreciate you. Okay, let's see. I don't want this to be all caps. So let's go over to character. Take that away. There we go. Let's throw the menu font size up a bit. And then for just like a little bit of extra contrast.
Love that. Yeah.
Would you come to my garden party?
Oh, for sure.
I'm putting you on the spot, so you really can't say no.
I think we all would love to come. It just looks so good. I hope you can cook as well as you can create your invite.
I can't.
Okay, then we'll cater.
No. But I've got friends who can cook,
Perfect,
so
that
we're
works.
good.
Yeah.
We're good. Or we can cater, exactly.
I wish Firefly could generate food too.
I know. I'm like, like movies in the olden days where they like put the order into a microwave or whatever and it just like pops it out. I'm like, that's what we need. Firefly, take notes. Okay, we're gonna do this really fast. And bloop, bloop. Okay. And then what we need to know the dates for our garden party.
Right.
Jeff says, I'm in if it's wheelchair accessible. Of course it's wheelchair accessible.
Yeah.
We want everyone to attend. Mm-hmm. So we will make sure that you can roll right on up to the garden party. Actually, I usually do throw parties at my friend Adrian's house. He's got a great backyard. And he does have a super sloped driveway up to his front door. And so you could roll right in.
Yeah.
Roll right in and roll right out. Okay. Let's see. What's an upcoming date? June? What's a good garden party date? June 8th. I don't know. Just throwing dates out there. June 18th, 2024.
Sean says he'll be at your garden party and then start yelling, "Where's that crazy cake?"
Oh no. You're going to cause a scene, Sean. But you know what? What's a garden party without a little bit of drama?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we need you to come, Sean, now that you've RSVP'd.
Yeah, we need you for the drama.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we could probably introduce a little bit more color blocking here too. So There is some nice brown in this image, and so I might introduce some brown in here. Ooh. See, I like it. I like it. It's coming together. Let's bring this layer up. June 18th, 2022. And we're going to adjust the lighting and kerning. Okay, so we definitely have kind of like an overall brand presence starting to emerge. I want this to be perfectly lined up.
Love that. It's definitely coming together.
Sean says, I am the drama. Jeff says he's in, smiley face. Alessandra says, haha, and we love it. Yay. What else do we need for a garden party? I'm like, oh, we need a location, of course.
Right.
Let's duplicate this shape. We're going to do...
Carol says if the brown's for dark chocolate. Is the brown for dark chocolate?
In the cake?
Yeah. No, like, I think it's the in white.
Oh, yeah. Carol, it is whatever chocolate you want it to be, okay? Okay, Carol. We want you to come, so I will get dark chocolate, I will get milk chocolate, I will get white chocolate. Just kidding, I won't get white chocolate because it's disgusting.
No.
Uh-oh.
You have white on your menu. Well, I'll come if you get white chocolate.
Okay, fine, I'll get white chocolate. Guess what? It's a potluck and you need to bring the white chocolate.
I don't mind. I don't mind that at all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that works for me.
Let's do... So you like white chocolate, huh?
Oh, I love white chocolate. White chocolate's the best chocolate.
Interesting.
I love how you're just exhaling.
I'm like,
I can feel your judgment coming off of you.
I don't think I can sit next to you anymore.
Well,
Okay.
I hope there's people in the chat who support white chocolate, or is it just me?
Should we do a poll? Who's voting for white chocolate? Where did my text layer go? Oh, here.
It's right there, yeah.
It's hiding from me. Okay. At Adrian's, for those of you who don't know, DM me on Instagram and I'll send you the address. Adrian doesn't realize that I'm throwing a garden party at his house on June 18th, 2024 with everyone from Adobe Live. I'm going to do ADA accessible.
I love that, yeah. Oh, okay.
We're going to bring the font size down just a little bit. And my kerning is wackadoo. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Works, yeah, love it.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
Let's look back to some of my inspiration images. And you know, what I think is working about some of these is that we've got like so many different hierarchies, right? We've got some really large typography. We've got some color contrast. We've got really small type.
Yeah.
These kind of silhouettes are pretty cool. A little bit of layering too could be potentially really cool. And so...
Well, while we're brainstorming, there's a whole lot of people just pro and con white chocolate. They're like, white chocolate ain't chocolate, and then someone's like, team white chocolate. Okay, I'll bring the white chocolate. So
Alessandra says, I don't know about white chocolate.
I'll get it, and if you don't want to eat it, it's okay.
That's why we're friends, Alessandra. That's why we're friends. Okay, because we agree. It's cocoa butter confection, but I don't know. What if that is cranberries? I'm having some almond milk chocolate right now. Oh my god, can I have some? I didn't even know that was a thing, almond milk chocolate. Or is it milk chocolate with almonds in it?
It's just almond milk with chocolate flavored. Like chocolate milk, but...
Chocolate, but made with almond milk.
No. Almond milk.
Oh, almond milk and some chocolate.
Okay, have you had chocolate milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the almond milk form.
Yeah. Okay. See, I've got streaming brain, so my brain isn't working exactly how it normally would. Okay, let's just add a little bit extra text here. Because this is going on Instagram, we're gonna do DM for address. For some reason, all my layers are going. And I do have a secondary typeface that I think will probably be, yeah, this one's a little bit more legible at smaller size. BD Supper. If you guys aren't familiar with BD, it's like Bureau Direct or something. If you go to fonts.adobe.com, this is one of my favorite BD Supper. Let's just put that in and then we can find the foundry. One of my favorite font foundries out there, Bureau Destruct. Amazing, such cool fonts, like really cool experimental fonts. I'm using 2 of their fonts in my design today. Let's see, yeah, one of them is BD Supper, that one there. And then what's the other one that I'm using? Oh, Orange Variable, which is appropriate for
the oranges.
For the oranges.
Yeah.
Listen, I know what I'm doing, I'm professional. I've been doing this for 9 years.
Yep, you are.
9 years. Okay, Supper. Even Supper.
Supper. I know. That's perfect. Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Love that.
Oh, I didn't plan that one. DM for address. Yeah, this, okay. What else do we need to put? DM for address. Time.
The time, yeah.
Let's put the time over here. I'm gonna just duplicate, put that.
So you've got location, date, and time, and the menus right there. It's all coming together, yeah.
Garden party. Is 11 a.m. too early to eat spaghetti?
11 a.m. is just too early in general. Yeah.
Okay. Should we do like 1 p.m.?
Sure.
1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Why not? Because 7:30 is sunset in Portland during the summertime. 1 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I love that. It's a long party.
Cocktails served promptly at 2. So you can come at 1, but like make sure you're there by 2, otherwise you're gonna miss the Prosecco served with olives. Okay. DM for address. We're not working off of a very good grid right now. I'm just doing a visual grid, so our margins are coming together still.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do wish I could go. I'm in Pennsylvania. Can someone get me a plane ticket? Tell you what, Jeff, I'll get you a plane ticket. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. That's expensive. But we'll miss you. How about we FaceTime? What do you
join us virtually?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I don't even know what day of the week June 18th is. Like, it might be a Tuesday. Like, we're all probably going to be working. Okay. So we've got a pretty interesting invite here. I just see this, like, this color is from my color palette, but it's almost like too white. And so I think I might want to try like something a little creamier. No.
I think you used all colors but the blue, but I don't know if the blue will go there. I don't think it will.
Yeah, you mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be too much.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But it's still not quite right.
Yeah.
I kind of want like something like that almost. Let's choose eyedropper. It might be kind of close to
the other
one.
Yeah, on the menu. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
It's kind of okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's maybe I'll lighten it up just a touch. Yeah, because it doesn't look white anymore, but it does look
kind of similar to the one we were working with. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Love that.
I don't know, guys. I'd love a cherry cake right now. I like the block colors, Cory. Thanks, Cody Bear. Okay. I do also think I want to see... Oh, whoa, look at that. It does a little glyph moment.
Yeah.
Who was it? Okay, someone in my live stream on Tuesday was saying that they don't like glyphs. Was it? I think it was...
I love glyphs.
I know, right?
They're so cool.
I was like, you're crazy. I think it was Clever. Is Clever in the chat? Clever, if you're in the chat, go away. Just kidding. Clever and I are best friends, so we can talk like that to each other. But Clever, I think it was Clever who said that they didn't like glyphs. And I was like, you're crazy. And everyone in the chat was like, what? You don't like glyphs? I was like, What? That's insane. ADA accessible.
Perfect.
Because, like, this glyph moment is awesome. Oh, ligatures.
Oh.
Okay, that's what it was.
Clever is in the chat.
Clever is in the chat. Clever's been hiding. Sorry to call you out, Clever. Don't be mad at me. Still come to my live streams, please. Okay, so I'm going to open up Express. We've got, like, a good kind of, like, starting point right now. I'm going to close Adobe Fonts because we don't need that anymore.
We've got a good, like, 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, Clever says loves glyphs except ligatures.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
That works for us.
I'm sorry I called you out. It does work. It does work.
You can stay in the chat.
You
Clever.
can stay. You can stay. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do Instagram. I don't want to do an Instagram square post. I'm going to do a custom size. We're going to go 1080, 1350.
Oh, why is that? I thought we were posting on Instagram.
We're going to post on Instagram horizontal or vertical.
Okay.
So we're going to do that there. And then we're going to go over to my stuff, my libraries. Loading. I think there needs to be something below ADA accessible. I think you're right, Jeff. And I was kind of trying to think of like what could go there. But I came up empty. So if you have any suggestions as to
let us know
what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? You are right. Because I just did this, I think what we'll do in Express is create an Instagram story.
Okay.
Let's do that. And then we can add some animation too.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
So I'm going to resize. We're going to go Instagram story, resize, boom, just like that. So easy. Love that. And we're going to, we could add some fonts in here because they're all in Adobe Fonts, all the ones that I chose. I can add my fonts in here to my Creative Cloud library, which is an awesome feature to just kind of have access to really quick. And so, hey, BD, where's orange?
Do we not have it?
That's funny. It's not showing up. Sometimes that does seem to happen occasionally. Let's see if maybe I'm spelling it wrong.
Yeah.
BD Orange V. Oh, you know what? It's a variable font. And I think I've had trouble pulling up variable fonts in Express.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm missing something and someone in the chat knows.
Yeah.
Jeff says, what location is at your house? Villa, vineyard. It should be at a villa. It's not. It's at my friend Adrian's house, which is basically like a villa.
Yeah, we did add the location, Jeff. So I'm not sure what else we can add below ADA accessible.
Yeah, here, if you need a reminder, at Adrian's, ADA accessible.
Okay, Raphael has confirmed if it's a variable, it's not an Express.
Okay, yep, that's what I thought. So we're going to go over to shapes. We're going to, God, time is just flying by. I always have so much fun with you guys, and I'm like, I'm not ready to be done. It's tragic. We're going to use kind of a similar format as before.
With the blocks.
Mm-hmm. And we have our color palette. So let's.
Oh, I think Jeff was saying AD accessible home. Is that what you want us to say on the invite?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. If you're down, Cory. You're the
I'm
artist
down.
here. Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do it. My color palette's not appearing. Let's do a quick refresh. ADA accessible, home, and backyard. Well, no, garden, because it's a garden party.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at how beautiful.
So pretty, yeah.
The A into the R. Oh my gosh. That's stunning. Speaking of accessibility, I should make sure that all of these colors are accessible together. And a quick way to do that would be to go over to WebIM has a really great WebAIM? Yeah. WebAIM has a really good color contrast tracker if you are making designs and want to make sure that they are accessible.
Oh, I love that.
That's a great way to check that and make sure. I want to make, but it's funny, look at my garden party branding color palette isn't appearing. So we're just gonna have to go just really quick over here, copy and paste the color codes.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It usually just pops right up for me.
Yeah, it's strange.
We are at the 45-minute mark.
Okay.
So.
Man, we have just been moving fast, haven't we?
But that's a great invite in under an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can just go get a really fast, maybe like a quick little animation. Copy, paste. One more color. See, now I'm in like speed working mode. I'm like,
you're so fast.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
I know. Love that.
Now is not the time for perfectionism, Cory. Okay. We're gonna do add your text, garden party. Hey.
And you have your orange text.
BD. Supper.
Oh yeah, supper.
Yeah, I want the orange.
Yeah, but it won't show up. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over here, just like that. The leading is way, way, way too much.
So are we trying to mimic it, or what's the vision here?
I want something similar that like is clearly kind of part of the same brand family, but is slightly different, a little bit more distinct.
Okay.
And so what we're gonna do is hopefully we're able to get just a little bit of animation in here. We might kind of be short on time, but the goal, the ideal would be to, let's see, it just looked unfinished. Yeah, I feel that. You can do an Express with the add-on or in Adobe Colors too, Cory. You got it, Home and Garden, liked it, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting me. Okay. June 18th, 2024. Just like that. At Adrian's.
Home and Garden?
Yeah. Add your text. Home and Garden. ADA accessible. And we're gonna bring down like this. Ideally, we'll have our image in this. Do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of that. Let's use our align tool. Okay, so let's see. Text effects. Oh no, we don't want to do that. Animation. Because this is an Instagram story, we've got kind of the like extra ability to have like a nice quick little animation. And so I think like a staggered animation will be really nice
Okay.
to have, where it kind of one after the next kind of pops in.
Okay.
And I do know that we are getting really close on time. So it might be best to just do a really quick like little recap, but let's see what we can do. This was our like winning image.
Yeah.
I'm like, that does finish it in a nice sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say from the, is this fictional correct? I feel bad that I can't go and I'm the only one in my chair. Haha. No, this is fictional technically, but I am like becoming a bit inspired to actually do this.
Yeah, we have the invites. Might as well just go for it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing it, we're doing it. So I don't know. I think it is probably, we're going to need to make it happen in some shape or form.
Raphael says if you have the font file, you can add it manually in Express. I think we just copy pasted the font type. I think that works too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. I have done that before, been known to do that. Oop, we forgot Adrian's.
Right, let's try it.
Ooh, I wanted this image to animate in.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Maybe like a quick little fade.
Okay.
Bring the duration out a little bit, maybe. Show layer timing. Let's maybe make this come in a little bit later.
Love that.
That's better. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Garden party first.
Okay.
And then June 18th a little bit later.
Then Adrian
Adrian's
last.
a little later.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's rough. We need.
We made it in 5 minutes.
We made it in 5 minutes, and it is. It was a quick job, but listen, we made some really interesting, really interesting and kind of horrific garden party food in Adobe Firefly, using generative AI, which was really cool, taking inspirational images from vintage recipe cards and getting sort of the similar color palette, getting the composition to be really similar, getting sort of those muted colors and the structure of the image to be the same, and then taking those images and creating like stylistically similar images for garden party invites. And so then like taking those over into Photoshop, creating sort of the like structure and basis for the invite, as well as creating a Creative Cloud library, which then syncs across all of your Creative Cloud apps, which is like amazing to have. And then finally bringing it over and getting started in Adobe Express, where you can then access the library that you created in whichever one of the apps, or you can create it in Express and add like really simple animations if you're making an Instagram story or an Instagram post. You could even do reels in here.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing a lot of work in Express pretty soon here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What a great...
That sounds good. That was an amazing live stream. We love the final product, and we love how quickly you worked through your mood board. And it was great. I think we all learned a lot. Even if in the chat, Jeff says it was awesome. He's super inspired.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. If you're online right now, hang in there. We have another live stream coming right up in the next 5 minutes. So I'll see you guys soon. And thank you so much, Cory. That was great.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
We are doing photo retouching with Photoshop and Firefly.
So first, open up your photo, and there's filter and neuro filters, and this is literally amazing. Let's just see what the colorize does really quick. This is what it does automatically, which is, see, it's so cool because I've never seen my grandparents, like I don't know what they look like. So I'm like, oh, this feels a little bit more real. You can change the coloring here and like the profiles. And what I like to use is like the paintbrush tool. It's like color replacement.
Okay.
So this is like super easy. So if I just wanted to do the blue, you just Alt and then like use the key dropper to kind of drag around where you want. So I kind of want this blue. You just kind of color away. I love this tool, the color replacement.
That is amazing.
I really like the camera raw filter. I just like kind of like tilting it, right? Make it more straight. Also too, like since there is this glare, we could probably try to fix this using Generative Fill. I'm just gonna see what it does. We have a few different ones. I kind of like this one the best.
I do. Yeah, me too.
So this one, you go to Smart Portrait. Already can pick up the faces. Here you have like happiness, facial age, hair thickness, and eye direction. And so let's do her. Oh, see? Oh, that one did it really well. We can kind of move on to actual retouching.
Awesome.
Let's do some actual stuff because here, right, his face is totally, it's ripped apart. So I feel like a trick for using Generative Fill is to kind of do it in sections. So sometimes I kind of like to take the clone stamp tool, which is on your left, and just kind of like almost make like little paths to kind of separate it. Also the remove tool, that one you just like highlight. As I love this tool. This one definitely helps with photo restoration. That's when I would use like Generative Fill right here. Let's just see what this comes up with.
This is the whole face being selected.
Oh, that one looks so cool. Like I feel like it did the nose and mouth so well. I love that. Like I just got rid of like that crack so easily. Nerfilms have a lot of like restoration stuff.
Okay.
So if you're like new to restoration, I would go here first. So they have the colorize option, but also there's the photo restoration. So this is like the scratch reduction. Let's see. Oh yeah. So it kind of does it automatically.
The window.
But yeah, then you just kind of continue doing like either like the remove tool, if you don't like it, the Generative Fill. It's really nice. And it's kind of fun. Now that I have all these photos that I can send to my family, you know, it's awesome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Anjali, and I'm going to be your host again for the next hour. And we're here with Ted today.
Hi, guys.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Tell
it's
us
me
what
again.
you're doing today.
Yeah, welcome back. And for those who are just tuning in or didn't watch the previous session, my name is Ted, aka Ted's Little Dream. I'm a surreal digital artist based in San Francisco, and I'm very excited to be here, celebrate the 1 million subscriber on Adobe Live. And so I'm gonna be showcasing you some of the new tool on Photoshop Beta to kind of like walk through a process of like how I do my work, and then like kind of surreal concept, like conceptualizing everything, and then like turn that from your dream into reality. And yeah,
I love how you're Ted's little dream and how you turn dreams into reality.
Thank you. Yeah.
Show us some of your work to help us visualize.
So this is like my work for those of you, haven't seen before. So I specialize kind of like putting like, surreal animals, concept, fantasy dream, like a little fun adventure. Like, I want that fun part to like go crazy. Thank you. Yeah. To like have fun, right? So like something like power of imagination that we all have that we lost, right? Well, we didn't lose it, we just like didn't practice enough. So I want to bring that back and have you guys to practice it. And for those of you who saw me already, thanks for being here again.
Yeah, I love that. So do you have any concepts you want to go with, or you just want us to just pitch in? And
both.
All right.
So, okay,
sounds good.
Let me pop into Photoshop Beta. So if you don't have Photoshop Beta, just open your Creative Cloud, go to the apps, and then scroll on the tab on the top and click Beta, and you will see Photoshop Beta right here, and you can open it. The reason why we're using it is because there are some new features such as image generative or generated image, and then image reference, generated reference, and all the other fun tool that we have.
Perfect.
So yeah, in the last session, which we did in the live, basically I turned this photo into this photo right here by using Firefly and Photoshop Beta to like kind of like figure out like, okay, we first create like silhouettes, quick composite, put into Firefly, make some really fun image, and back to Photoshop, recomposite, just like going back and forth, right?
Perfect.
So I do have some fun ideas that I want to do, but now I want to like do like a fun activity where you guys who are watching will throw like random ideas and concept and prop, what inspires you, elements and stuff at me, and then you're gonna help me kind of like pick few some of you like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I'm gonna be challenged and trying to composite into the Photoshop, right?
That sounds great. Yeah.
So kind of give you ideas is like, for me, like recently I have like few people reach out to me and I was like, hey, I've been a photographer for like a long time. I want to do like something like you're doing. Like what's the first step I should do? Like what should I try, right?
Right.
So luckily we have all the Fireflies and then like generate image fills and everything that to help us to make this happen way easier compared to before. But I'll just say like, for me, like most of the things that inspire me are like elements that happens, the life events, or like daydreaming or something like, that we cherish, like the good memory, right? So for this, it's like a view outside of my window.
Okay.
And I was just daydreaming like, hey, what if a cat just walked past by on the top and then, it's going an adventure with the fish club because, the cat love eating fish in the cartoon world, right? As I set up. So I was just like, oh, this is like a cat's adventure of daydreaming of it, right? So it's all about like storytelling. Like, what do you want to tell, right? And it could be silly, it could be serious, it could be anything. So I want you guys in the chat just like start like, like putting random ideas, right? Or you can have anything, or I can give you like a base start. So feel free to put anything. So this one, obviously, if you watch a lot of movie, anime, or comic, you see like giant turtles that carrying the mountains, right? The Avatar, Last Airbender, and everything. So this is like kind of like the concept from it. It was like the tiny trees, a human, right? It's like how mountains be moving, right? Causing all the earthquake and disaster. This one's the classic. You guys are probably feel like this looks familiar because of the newer version of this was used for the Photoshop cover screen for the 2021. So I have to redesign the whole thing. And this one is like few of my favorite elements of like jellyfish, campfire, stars, right? So imagination is like what driven me the most to come to like using Adobe program to create stuff. So I'm very excited to like see like what you guys can come up with some cool ideas and what we can create together.
Sounds good. We already have a few ideas in the caption.
Ooh.
Can you create something with like a cathedral or a church or something medieval?
Ooh, cathedral. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I see like where is the cathedral located at?
Okay.
Let's see.
We also have people saying the turtle was awesome, the octopus is awesome. So
thank you. Yeah.
Either of those animals.
Okay, so we're gonna pop into Photoshop Beta, and then we can go onto the left side. This toolbar on the very bottom, you should see Generate Image right here. And it's really cool. You can just hover the tool above it, like your mouse, and then you can see like what it does. It's a little quick tutorial. And if you don't see, I think it was also under Window or somewhere else. You can type here. Let's see. I think I can search it. Generate image. Generative image. Right there, maybe? Right here. So you go on edited, generate image. I think it does the same thing. Yes. So if you click that, or just click this icon right here, this window is gonna pop out. So basically operated just like Firefly. So if you haven't used Firefly, it looks like this. You go on to like Adobe Firefly, firefly.adobe.com, and you can see like text to image. You can try a whole different setting. Image Model 3, Portrait Mode, that's something I like to use. You can pick between photo and art, structure reference and style reference that we went over like on the last session. But if you have the questions about like what those do, please let me know so I can show you a quick demo of what I do. And then on effects, you can select all type of different styles. I like to use hyper realistic, right? So that's something I use. So we're gonna pop back into Photoshop Beta. So now you have everything in here, right? Which means that during my creative process, I usually like jump between like different program, website, stock image, right? To like trying to find the right photo to use and combine them together. And now I can just kind of like stay in one place and then create everything here. So we gotta do, let's do a beautiful landscape of mountain. I just want to see what it does, right? Because we gotta put our cathedral there. Click effect, and we gotta do hyper realistic. You can use reference image. So for example, like if you have like a styles or like a structure outline that you want to look like, you can put on there. But since we pick photo and realistic, we're just gonna leave it like that, and we're gonna start generating and then see what are some other options.
Yeah, I think Jeff wanted a mountain too, so that's perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I like mountains. If you look at my work, it's just like mountain, ocean, and stuff. So this is obviously very beautiful. I love this already. So we're gonna take another look. So this is actually pretty funny. I forgot the actual location. So this is based on like an actual place.
Okay.
I think it's in Peru. I'm not sure.
Really?
But I see a lot of photo of that. So I also like Snowy Mountain, but for our cathedral, we can use that, right?
Yeah.
So let's do
Love that. Yeah.
So you can see like these different variations you can pick, and then this is like reference image and style. So you can it's the same one we saw earlier. You can still upload it and regenerate to a new one.
Right.
Yeah. So you have both. Wait, is it the same? Oh yeah. For some reason I just see that. And
so do you generally build on your previous work as a reference image, or you like starting from scratch?
So this tool is pretty new, right? So for before, I kind of just like starting from scratch, finding the right image and start using it. But for now, I probably could try to see like, hey, I want a similar styles or color of like what I did, right? But I feel like since for me personally, it's all photography work and realistic, so I kind of have like its own library database already. So I don't have to like specific to it unless it's giving me like a complete different result, right?
Right.
And that's why we have all the options on there to pick what we need.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna try few theory to see if we can make a cathedral.
Okay.
I would say cathedral is probably gonna look better on here. Well, it depends what you want to do. You can put it on here, or you can put it like on here, right? Depend where it's how you want to establish. So imagine like you're making like a movie set, right? A scene in the movie. Like, what is the story gonna be? Like, what there's a cathedral, right? Is there like a journey? Something happened? You can just be a simple landscape photography, which is totally fine. But if, for example, if we have a cathedral right here, right? Let's say this is a cathedral, and you have like a pretty cool door. And wouldn't it be cool like if you have like a little character right here that's like heading toward to it? Because like the line of the action is already going down there. So it kind of like give you like a pretty nice eye visual movement to there, right?
I love how the image generated, like, for some reason it has the perfect spot for the
cathedral.
Right?
I got lucky, just a one click. On the last session, I like keep clicking. It's like, come on, give me a better octopus.
Do you want to move the remove background pin a little bit so that it's not on the live, like, it's not blocking the live right there?
Where? Oh,
Yeah.
we're blocking it. Sorry,
Yeah.
here. Let me move the bar right
Perfect.
here so you guys
Thank
can
you.
see.
Yeah.
Didn't realize we're blocking it. So good. So we have this, right? And from there, this is where we go. We're going to try a few theory. One, we're going to do the generative fill. Actually, it's probably good. We try this out too. So we're going to go to Adobe Stock, right?
Okay.
And you click Adobe Stock. You can go into the free sections. From here, you can like get some free like stock photo to use. You know?
Yeah.
So, cathedral. How do you spell cathedral? Right there. Thanks.
Perfect. All right.
All right. So we can use
Got
like
some
photo.
beautiful images here.
Yeah. Some very famous, beautiful cathedral. I want to see if there's one. Probably I can use this one. Looks pretty good.
Right.
I want something with like beautiful like entrance, like something you can easily recognize or see the shape of it, right? So in the last section we talk about like what make not what make a design good design, but what make it easier to recognize, right? A strong silhouette,
right?
A character or background or something that have a very strong silhouette that your eyes kind of like recognizing the millisecond, and it's like for me that's like how I capture people's attention. There's like, oh, like that's a cool photo, right? Or that's a church, or that's something, right? That's an animal in the sky. Just like, oh, like I see what it is. Like, you know, it helps a lot with the strong silhouette design. So I kind of like that, but then we have to kind of compare to that. It's like, does it fit the perspective? We don't know, but I'm kind of using it as like structure and reference. So I'm gonna use that to see if I put that, well, we're gonna use Generative Fill to generate a cathedral first, and then we're gonna see if it works, and if I have to use like a reference photo to tell that, hey, no, this is the cathedral that I want, not the one you're creating, right?
Yeah, but today we're getting lucky, so maybe it'll generate the right one
it's
immediately.
a good day so far,
Yeah.
so hopefully we'll be able to, whoops.
Yeah, Keys in the chat is super excited. It says Ted got a second talk today. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. Yeah, he was up an hour ago. So he was up for an hour. And then we had Cody, and then he's here again. So you can always, go back and watch the replay.
Cathedral. Let's see if this works. I don't know if I need to type like realistic cathedral, mid-century, or like sound like keywords. Someone said mid-century earlier, right?
Okay.
So if you guys want to throw in any crazy idea, I don't know if Dragon will work on this, but we'll try. Okay, this works, but it's very tiny. Oh, there you go. That's kind of cool, but let's see. Then we're gonna click this reference image, choose image. So hopefully this will work. I'm not sure if it's gonna like also take the background, so maybe we'll have to crop it.
Right.
But then basically I'm telling Photoshop Beta, I was like, hey, this is the image I want you to make it look like, and can you try it better?
Perfect.
Yeah. I wonder if it's better if I isolate the subject so it's less information. It's just like making the data focus on the cathedral, right?
So like using the remote background feature or something in the reference image?
Oh look, see, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
so
I
like
love that.
it is understanding what I want. It's pretty much put in there. I don't know. Is
also
that a
added
car?
the trees.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool, That's kind of cool. Yeah, I can see this work. Yeah. But then we can jump back to Firefly. Well, I guess we're supposed to stay in Photoshop Beta. It's fine. So then I'm gonna try another theory. It's pretty much I'm just gonna click this, and then I'm just gonna generate cathedral on top of the mountain hill photo, realistic, hyper realistic, generate. So the challenge for me is to stay in beta, not going anywhere else, to see if I can make something super realistic that's like representable as like for my work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Photo of a cathedral. Choose an image. I'm gonna use image reference plus like a different prompt. I don't know if I need to type realistic, but we're gonna try it because we already tried hyper realistic, so we're gonna see. Because this could give like a complete different thing, right?
Yeah, especially because of the reference.
This is kind of nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of really like this. Okay.
Those are great.
Now, I'm gonna see, this is where it gets more interesting. So, usually if you import like let's say if I import this photo in here, right? You will see remove background and select subject as an options. Right. So basically the toolbar is telling you like, hey, I can just select the subject for you, do like a quick selections, don't worry about it. But since we are on generate image, right? So we are still at like the part where you can see the properties. We're still generating image. So to be able to do the same selecting, all you have to do is just press W on your keyboard, or go to this quick selection tool, or you can select subject. You can hold Shift and press W. You can rotate between the tools, and you can see that I can do like one click to select the subject, and to see like it does a pretty good job, right?
Yeah,
so that's one way to do it. Or you can also just click select subject. So there's like different way to do the same thing, but it does a pretty good job on both of it. For this one, I like it is more details. You can even go into select the mask to polish the tree mask right here. Just make it more fuzzy-ish. You probably won't really see too much. So you want to make sure you are on the refine edge brush tool, right? So you can give that very nice soft edge and click OK, and then press this little mic. I love that when you hover your mouse over to like all the tools on Photoshop right now, you can have a little video that's playing that tells you, hey, this tool does this. This tool does that. You know, like this is really nice. Because before I can only have like the words, I actually have to guess like what it does. Okay. Now we have our church one, cathedral one. This is our background. Does the cathedral one match? The lighting slightly, it's okay. The lighting's okay. So one thing is like very important for me when it comes to like photo composites, the lighting, to help you to understand it more. Turn your photo into black and white mode. It helps a lot. And then if you still can't really tell, just boost up the contrast and brightness, right? You can understand where the light is coming from. Obviously, with the help of AI tool, like it does blending a little bit better. But I like to have full control. Pretty sure like all the designer here, they'll just have to like, hey, I want this to be there, not like mixing with our thing, right? Like we like control our design. So you can tell like this is the highlight, and then this is like the shadow is right here, right? So you can see the shadow. So you can kind of like tell the light is coming from here. Technically, the light source is coming from behind. So it's like not really like left to right, but it's like a 360 dimension. Like think about like an orb, right? So the light is actually coming from this side instead of like just flat from the right. So that's the tricky part, because you can tell that if we zoom in, you can tell like the highlight is right there, and then the shadow, right? But it looks like, because it's AI, so it's like coming from like two different directions, which means that when we put our church in there, it has a very similar lighting from the similar directions, but it's more toward to the right side of it, right?
I see.
So yeah. You'll be able to get away with it. It's fine, you know. Also depending on where you put it. So technically, if you put it on the very top of the mountain, you can't really tell like the difference, you know. Right? But we're gonna put it in the front, because that's where our church cathedral is. Then we're gonna go. So I usually don't. Well, depends on the scenario, right? I name my layers, but sometimes I don't. So to help you better, it's probably will be better for you to name all your layers, so you can tell like where it is, what it does, right? This is just like outlines and like reference and stuff. So I'm gonna delete this outline because I don't need it anymore. And now we just have like a better understanding what is what, because if you happen to have to give this file to someone else to edit it, definitely name your layers, because they're gonna open it and see like 55 different things. They have no idea what is what. So always name your layer to make it easier, make your life easier, make other people's life easier too.
I love your little like tips and tricks, especially the black and white, like looking where the light's coming from. I think even Jeff in the chat says he never thought about turning it into black and white to find the light direction, which is very cool. So we love that you're giving us an in-depth.
Sweet. So it's actually really funny. So for me, I'm actually not good with color theory, which is something I need to study too, right? It's color theory and type font. I like something
it's hard to believe.
But so when I first take like film class, right, to learn about like short films and movie, how everything works, and then we learned about like in the beginning, like everything was shot in black and white in the movie, right? So they focus more on color, the contrast, the highlight, the shadow, the patterns, and everything everything in the film, right? Because there was no color in the film, right? And from there, you add in the color, which like just it makes it even better, right? Make the design even stronger. But when you only have black and white to work with, you actually get to see a lot of like all the details that you don't usually recognize, you don't usually see, right? Because we see so many color in our life. So like for me to learn like composited, the first step was like, okay, I need to figure out like perspective, lighting, right? And then like color is the third one, right?
Yeah.
So get the perspective, get the lighting right, and the color just come pretty easy. Well, not super easy, but still. Right? So yeah, so turning black and white definitely helps a lot. And so I'm trying to put the church in between that hill right there. There's multiple ways to do this. The thing is that I could create a group for the church and then select the front, right? So this was the front hill I was like selecting, and I can put right here, click this layer mask, mask it, and then invert it. So I can do either create a mask on top of the church, so then I can move the church around. I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Or you can do the most simplest way is like just selecting it, copy and paste. I don't usually like that method, but it is also a way if it is easier for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the top of the layer.
Yeah.
I like non-constructive, like editing, so you can always go back to editing, like the file if something goes wrong. So in this method, I'm just going to create a group, layer mask on the top. So then I'm going to church, and now we know what is what. And then I'm just going to put this background. Cool. Then from here, this is like where we will shrink and then try to do mask, like a better perspective. I mean, obviously, it should probably have a little bit more base value, right?
Right.
But we can kind of like hitting it, so it's like a lower perspective. We're shooting, there's a hill blocking, so we can't really see the bottom of it. So it's like not really cheated, but it's kind of like, you know, how to get a better perspective result for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you gotta do that. And then I wonder, so this is where we figure out like, do I need like a different photo, or like what will like work better, you know, for the thing? Do I want a tree there? The tree will probably looks pretty good. So we gonna go in here, and then, so what I'm trying to do here is that you see like I have a layer mask on both, right? So there's a hill that's hiding, but on this layer, the church, there's also this layer mask. But if I'm trying to paint the tree back right here, right? There's that white sky space that I don't want. So what are some other easy way you can do? Well, one thing you can do is press F5, and I have a whole bunch of brushes that in my library. So I can find like the tree brushes. Like for example, I don't know which one is tree brushes because there's a lot. But I could just like kind of like choose a random brush and like brush this back with like patterns.
Yeah.
Right. And then like negatively like kind of cut it. It'll work like that. Okay. That's one way to do it. But you could also, what I do is I hold shift and then right click to hide the layer mask, and then select that layer, and then let me switch this back to regular brushes. Press W, magic wand, select the white noise right here, and then go back, shift, hold shift, right click again. So now we have the selections, right? But we're back into the layer mask layer.
Right.
And then I'm gonna invert it by press Control I, right? So now we have that, and then I can kind of like paint on the white brush back. So this method probably sounds more complicated, but it's like more easy to get like a better detail. Then you can combine with like the brushes to get like a more clear editing on that. So there's many ways to do this, but mainly depend on like which method you like the most. What comes to your mind like right away.
Yeah, I do think now that I've seen you do the second one, it's definitely easier when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it gets a little bit complicated when you like explain. But as long as you can explain it to someone, that means that you know what you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this does that and that does that, right? So we can kind of put that into here. Okay, anything else we should add to chat? Say anything?
So we had two suggestions. One, I think you mentioned a dragon. And the second suggestion was a whale flying over.
I like the whale. See, dragon-wise, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we're going to try our best. So let's see. Let's work on
either or, whatever you prefer. Yeah.
Quick color editing real quick. So let's check I think it looks okay. We just need to enhance the shadow, right? So I'm gonna show you guys some of like the few different ones that I do stuff is by my favorite tool are all under here, not the deck. Sorry, these. Wait, why the deck is there? Sorry, click that. There you go. Selective color. This is my secret weapon. Okay, so I'm gonna move this up here. Also, single adjustment layers group is also like my favorite panel too. So we're gonna put everything on here, and we're gonna hold options, or I think it's Alt or Control on PC. Then you see this little arrow when you hover your mouse on, and then you can clip the layers to the bottom. Or you can also clip like somewhere down here. There's like right here. There's like clipping layer tool, right? So, and then we're gonna do color balance, and then also clip that. And then hue saturation, also clip that. So what does this do, right? You're like looking at that. What are these buttons? What are you doing with this? So first, let's go on the hue saturation. So sometimes like first thing you want to make sure like the color is matching, right? So you can kind of desaturate it to make kind of like repaint. You want to repaint the colors and shadow on this thing, right? So from there, basically, it doesn't have to be super accurate, but the shadow on here, right, is this color. Should also match the shadow on here. They're very similar color tone, but it should be like the darkest part. They should kind of match, right? So they should kind of like match, and then the highlight of this kind of should match the highlight on there. Obviously, they're pretty good already. They're in the same color category. I don't know if that's the right word, right? I'm not good with color theory, but they actually kind of like look similar because you're getting the same light, right? But then obviously different elements will bounce different light back to it, right? So you have to kind of think about it. Pretend you're like a scientist or painter, right? You're actually building it,
right? Because when I look at the final image, I never thought of you doing all of these, these little minute details that you take care of. That I don't even like notice immediately, but they are the reason why the image seems realistic.
Thank you. Yeah, so this theory is kind of like, it just helps, but most of the time I do kind of just wing it. I just kind of like eyeball it. Like, that looks good enough, right? So we desaturate it to kind of like giving that, and then let's jump to color balance real quick. So you have midtones, highlights, and shadow, which like you can control like the different lighting of everything, right? But sometimes it doesn't give you like the perfect highlight of it. So that this is where this thing, selective color, comes in super handy. So still my all-time favorite tool. There's probably a better way to use this. If you know, let me know how you added your photo, but this is how I do mine, is by using that. So what it does is that you can go into black, neutral, and white. So think about this as like highlight, midtones, and shadow. So when you select black, right, because sometimes you notice that no matter how you add it in color and everything, the darkest part on your subject doesn't match the shadows, and something doesn't match, right? So all you have to do is just slide it, so you can give that different like tone, like kind of like washed off colors, and now like the balance. I don't know what's the actual term of it, but then you can add it like yellows, or like removed it and then added like different red and cyan. So this kind of like give you like to get that similar color of what we have there earlier, right? To kind of like match it. So what I usually would do is kind of like guessing, just like, okay, like let's put, we're gonna do like this order. I desaturate a little bit, so I'm probably gonna go into highlights, probably a little bit. Oops, sorry, my webcam is not responding correctly. Yeah, I'll just use my mouse. Sometimes I'm just gonna do a little bit more golden highlights, a little bit warmer tone on the shadow-ish. And then go on here, there's probably more red in the shadow. And then we can throw in a little bit blue, kind of like that. That looks kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then, whoops.
Kind of reminds me of Hogwarts. I know it's a different shape, but
for some reason my Photoshop froze.
Oh.
Give me a second. Maybe if I unplug this. And give me a second. Technical issue. We're having too much fun.
While we're at it, we've got 2 more votes for dragon.
Okay, we'll try dragon.
Yeah, and Jack agrees that she feels like matching lighting in a composition is the magic. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Not sure what's happening, but let me reset. This is the first time that ever happened, but you know, everything happens once in a while. We're gonna force quit it and reopen it. So also this is a very good time to mention that you should always save your file, which I did. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, we are back. We're back. All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
Let me double save the file again. Session 2 live. Scary. Woo. Start sweating a little bit.
When did you save it?
Luckily it has a recover. I thought I saved it, but it's on the recover.
yeah.
So now we double save it. Thank you, Photoshop Beta, for saving my life on live stream. This measure is sponsored by Adobe. It's like Inceptions. Adobe adding Adobe, right? So I gotta kind of do like a quick thing. Shadow, kind of like fine tune. This is what I call fine tuning, just kind of like finding the similar color and shade, and then popping into color, select the color, and then this is where you kind of like get that nice shadow tone to more, right? I would say it's probably more reddish. So pretty much I usually just like kind of stare at the image and kind of like till I get the right feeling of it. So actually I think this is more than. And then if you're not sure what to do, right? When it comes like, oh, I don't know if it's too bright or it's not bright enough, you can just always like go super extreme. I was like, okay, it's getting the right direction, but not the right way, right?
Right.
And you can just tone it down. So that's like another thing to do with. Okay, and then we can go into midtone. But you can see like it give a lot of like more control options, right?
Yeah.
And like stuff like that.
I love
so it's
that.
like really nice. Kind of go with that. And then usually I don't really do much with highlight, but it depends. You can always slide around to see if it affects anything. If not, it's like, okay, I can just leave it alone. And then from there, you go to the basic, you can go to brightness, invert the mask, press B, swap to brushes, and then just like kind of like paint into shadow. So I press those number keypad on top of my keyboard. So if you pay attention on the opacity on the top and the flow, so you see like where I press different number, it changes. So like 1 to 10, well, 1 is like 10%, 3 is 30%, right? So 40%, 60%. But if you want to type like a number like 56%, or you reset the whole thing, press 0, it goes back to 100%, right? Or 9%, 03 is like 3%. So you see like, you don't really see like I changed the number setting, but it's actually just pressing the keypad. So I kind of like do like 20% and it's kind of like just brushing like some like where the shadow would be, where I want it to look like darker and stronger, and then just always bring it back, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like now I painted the shadow, now I want the like highlights, right? So like let's say highlights are more affecting like that directions, pinning on there, right? So it's kind of like getting that, and it was like, okay, I feel like something's off. Maybe the shadow is too strong, reducing like the selection part, trying to get that feeling. And then I can, it's like I always hide the layers and bring back so I can tell like, okay, which layer is doing too much, right? And then from there I can select it and reduce that, trying to match into it. Now in beta, I remember there is filter. Sorry, let me select the right one. There is the filter gallery. I think it's the filter gallery. Hopefully this doesn't crash. Nope, not filter gallery, sorry. Where are you? Newer filter, right? Okay. So you can turn on harmonization. So pretty much it auto match the color for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's gonna crash. It's probably gonna be fine, but I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you guys know that right here, you can click turn that on, and then you can match the layers with like the other layer you want to use it with. But for now, we're just gonna keep it like this way, and then change it slightly a little bit different here and there. So we're just gonna leave it like this for that, right? So now we have our little church, and then kind of like group this part. Let's see if I want to move it somewhere else, like about there. It's kind of nice. And then I can always create a new layer, press B, change the layer to screen, hold Alt, or like options to simple, the highlight, kind of brushing it a little bit on there, and then reduce that, kind of like play around where I want the highlight of it. So pretty much like you have to think about like when the light comes, is hitting on the subject, but also has like light bounce back, right? So it kind of make the area like glow a little bit. So you have that very, very light glow around it, right? So you have to think about that too, right? You have to imagine like if you were there in your imagination world, how actually it will look like, right? Now, there's a really fun task like if you think about like Apple, right? From like level 1 to 5, what do you see, right? So like level 1 is like you see nothing, but you just think about the word apple. Level 2 is like you see like a fade shape, and level 5 you see like a red apple with the colors and thing, you know.
And the shadows.
Yeah. So I kind of personally, I'm on like level 5 ish, category 5 category. I don't think there's level, just different categories. So like I can like see things and imagine how it tastes and everything. So it helps a lot when it comes to editing photo. So yeah. This is my story, but I think like you just practice a little bit, you know, like everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of that, and then if you still can't get the shadow right, there's another way you can do it too. You create another layer. So let's put this as highlight, and then put this as shadow. It doesn't have to spell right, and then sample the shadow area color, and then use like 20% of sound, and just kind of simply brush it down onto it, and you can change that to like darken, multiply or something, and then clip it to it, and then reduce it. So it's like kind of like a in the area affecting that whole area, right? So it's kind of like painting, like kind of like trick your eyes to make it like blending together, and then you can see that okay, maybe that's like overdone or not, trying to get like a better feeling, and then there you go. For me, it still looks not the right color, so this is where I could probably just add it like the same layer to get it right, but it's just easier to like create another layer. Chaotic. Like this is how my file ended up with like 80 files layers, you know. Okay, I gotta not put too much work on there because we want to put a dragon. So I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but we're gonna try our best. Okay. Let's check the lighting. Looks not bad. The shadow should probably be a little bit darker, but I think that's fine and make it a little bit stand out. The top, I'll brighten it, but dragon time. I'm not sure how the dragon's gonna work. If dragon doesn't work, maybe we can try flying lizard. Lizard with the bat wings.
Sure.
Because that's pretty much what dragon is, right? So we're gonna try dragon. We got click generate image, and we're gonna try since you guys be suggesting that in the chat. So we're gonna see. Auto save for the wing. Yes, I was reading the chat. Okay, this is very interesting. Oh, this is pretty good. The dragon flying in the sky. This is fun. I was surprised with the result. It looks pretty good.
So you thought option real animals come up, is it?
I put hyper realistic as my option.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was like a little T-Rex.
Yeah.
I can work with this.
Oh, that's
actually
good.
This one. I like the lighting. Because remember, our lighting is kind of coming from that. So with that W, again, select subject. This is pretty cool. I'm impressed. Impressed. Not impressed.
Live stream brain.
So I'm trying to test it out because you can see a little blue around it, right?
So do you like focus on the lighting or like when you generate random subjects like this or objects, do you like can you tell it to have lighting in a certain way?
In the prompt you can try. You can try to describe.
Have you tried that, or do you just play with the lighting?
I kind of let the beta take care of it, but you could type in like if the lighting doesn't like if I try like 3-4 times doesn't get what I want, that go in like super detail. It's like lighting from the top right or like sunrise from the right side, you know, like shining through like casting shit on the left. You can also type in. So in Firefly, there is colors and tones, and there's lighting. You can change like different type of set, but this doesn't affect like the whole mood, right? Dramatic lighting, golden hours, highlight, blue hours, all that, right? Low light, low exposure. But there's also camera angle that you can select here.
Oh wow!
So in Photoshop Beta, we currently only have We don't have those yet. But I'm pretty sure like the team's working on it. Hopefully they'll have that on there because it will only make sense to have everything there too, right? So for now, you have to kind of manually typing it to tell like, hey, wide angle, low perspective, drone shots. So this is also a good time to learn about like camera angles and like the term. So like one thing I learned about like using these AI programs, like the more technical term you know, the better the AI understand the result, right? Because it pull the result and understand that, okay, like you're looking for like a close-up punching shot, right? Then people are like, what is punching shot? You know, like not punching the camera, you just like go in really fast, right? Dolly zoom, dolly out, but that's like more for video, right? So the more you know, the easier and more control you can have. But for now, we're just gonna type dragonfly in the sky, you know, because like I could probably do like dragonfly in the sky, do a 360, you know, front flip and something. Yeah, and then we're gonna click this little icon. This icon is always like also here, and then you can make it small, boom, put it on there. So this is where like, oops, sorry, let me see. Okay, I see what it is. Oops, sorry. Basically, what I'm seeing is that I like the dragon silhouette. I think it's pretty strong, but we might have to put in like a small scales or create like a more dramatic lighting for it to easier to see, right? Because right now, if you're zooming, obviously you can see, but if you zoom out, you lost the dragon in this shot, right? So two things you can do. One is put it in the sky, create a strong silhouette, easy to recognize, easy to see. Or two, big giant dragons cannot not see it, right? Now like your full focus is like on the dragon above it. You're like, oh, that's a giant dragon. The only thing I zooming, I was confused a little bit earlier is because the position of this wing right here behind his ear. Physically, well, he's technically missing a right arm, right? And then the front wings a little bit too front, so we can fix that. We can fix it. So we're gonna do a quick fix. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna convert it to a smart object, and then we gonna see if we can do that. I'm gonna do a really fast fix, so forgive me if it doesn't look perfect, but I just want to show you guys the process of what we can do with that. And then what you can do is also selecting the arm, copy and paste, put it behind him, put it in a different way, different angle, kind of like he's a shy dragon, you know. Right? And then copy that wing, copy and paste. Well, it probably should be like a different way of like, you know, not different with different shadows and stuff, you know. Maybe. Different color and stuff. But like you can position it better, right? Obviously there's a top wing, but it's outside the frame, so I didn't like get to like capture it. So that being said, we can put this into a group and then put it down because I want to borrow that whole wing. So this is what I'm saying is like now it's like getting really fun, so I don't have to exit Firefly anymore. I can just like, hey, I need to just create, I don't want to leave, you know, I just want to stay here.
Right.
All right, and then put it on there. So what I'm doing is like Control or Command T, right? Go to free transmission, and you can put hold options and click on where you want your rotation center to be, so it rotate on there. So if I put it right there, it goes like there, right? So just holding, click that, going a little bit, probably like more dramatic, maybe like that. Put it in, put it back on the sky, right? It's more dynamic, I guess. That's the word I'm looking for, right? So now there's a dragon on there, and then do the same thing that I just did with the church, right? So you can like bring down the shadow. Always like give like a strong like shadow highlight, like that you see actually more shadows around here because like that's where, you know, everything comes from. And then there's like more shadow in the front. Whoops. Drag the wrong thing. More shadow in the front, right? So I'm doing like super extreme editing, so that means I have to reduce it after, right? And then this is the highlight. I just want to show you guys like how I see things. Highlights will be like lights coming from there, so the wings are kind of like transparent, you can see through. And then there's also light leak coming from here, right? So you have to like bring that back in, so it's like dynamic, right? So light leaking coming from there, so you have to think about that. And then highlights on the tail, highlights on top of like the horn, even the top of the horn, right? Like there's some highlights there at the back. You can go into doing like every piece of scales to bring that highlights and shadow into it. Right. And that's how you make it look super realistic with like all the light paintings and shadow work, right? A little bit light leak right here, a little on the belly, little on the leg, like 20%, 30% of that, right? And then to make it just even better, always brighten the eyes, right? Like bring that soul back into your subject, right? So you can reduce it too. And then if everything's too extreme, you can always reduce it, right? I kind of like the dramatic effect.
Yeah.
And you can pop in the same color, just quick color fixing, you know, more like to that, and then bring to the selective color. Bum, bum, bum.
I love how everything's really coming together.
Yeah, right. This is just like a fun way to do it. Group the whole thing. Obviously, still need some fine tune. But in my string earlier, I also mentioned that you can also click gradient map and then turn gradient map to soft light. So this kind of give you like a color corrections. Our shadow is gonna be probably dark green, so we're gonna select that, and then highlight is gonna be like a warm orange yellow tone. So probably go like this. It's super extreme, so you have to reduce it. But it kind of like give you like a color filter and thing. So now you can kind of tell that, okay, my castle is not really matching with the rest of the lighting and shadow, right? So I could probably just do like a little boost out the contrast, everything in there, right? And then you can also go extreme on the next steps, kind of like screens, you know, simple the color, 30%, like kind of like give it like a light, like if you want, right? If you want, like kind of like give you a feeling of that, right? So you can also pan light too, you know, if that's something you want to do, because like you can always do like in the concept art, just like lights coming from there, and then you need to like blurry shaping, every other way you can do it, or you can just like brush it back.
Right.
So yeah, so that's some like fun stuff you can do in Fireflies now, which is like, Photoshop beta, which is like super impressive compared to before. And then if you also want to just hide the character, you can put like a hero underneath with the sword or red cape or anything. So you can have as much as fun you want and all stay in Photoshop beta, right?
Yeah.
So we still got some time, so I wanted to show you guys like the second cool concept that we can do in Adobe Express, right? Actually, let's see if we can do this. Okay, I think I can do this. Let me see.
Gonna rush right to it.
I can do this. Okay, what I'm gonna do is that I am going to save this session to video. So let's say you create this file, right? And then you want to animate it, right? You want to use it for social media. You want to like entertain your audience or have fun, right? Like what can you do, right? So I'm gonna delete all the layers that I'm not using.
Okay.
And then I'm going to see if this is going to work. So I'm gonna flatten this layer and then delete that layer. So I'm pretty much doing a cleanup.
Right.
Because I want as last layers that's on there when I put it into Express.
Okay.
Right. So we have the background, we have the church. Actually, knowing that, I shouldn't flatten that. Hold on, sorry. Just need to copy that, put it on the top, delete layer mask. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is that basically just flatten this. So if you're confused what I'm doing right now, I'm just cleaning up the layer. But why am I duplicating the color is because in Photoshop, right? When I put on the very top of the layer, it affects every layer that's underneath. But when you trying to put the same thing into like After Effects or everything, when you break down that layer by into other Adobe programs, they're not affected by the same color filter.
Oh, okay.
So I'm duplicating it, merging it into individual layers. So now they all have like color filters on there.
Okay.
And then I can simply just go on to Adobe Express, and I am pretty confident that we could just drag the file onto there. I'm not sure which one is it. I'm just gonna try that. And then we're gonna do Instagram stories. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Oh, did it work? Let me refresh it. Because sometimes the file is huge, so it doesn't work. But if it doesn't work, it's totally fine. No, it's not fine. Oh, there you go. Such delay page cannot be uploaded. Check your internet. No. You know what? It's fine. I got this. Don't panic, guys. Because we'll just jump back to Photoshop and then we'll just save each individual layers. Let's do layer 1. JPEG is fine. We should probably do PNG on the others, right? Church, and then we'll do PNG. And hill, PNG. So I'm just pressing Command Options and S. So it basically just save us on the new layers. Then we'll do PNG.
So it'll be easier to import into Express?
Yeah, so you just export straight as layer. Because technically, usually I can just drag the whole PSD file onto it, but it takes a while to upload. And I think we have like 5 minutes left.
5 minutes, yeah.
So I am just speed running, speed running the game. So we're gonna, okay, I'll just do layer by layer. You're gonna go here. Sorry, let me do resize, showing you straight demo, Instagram, portrait post, resize, and then putting you here, and then we can have the fun stuff go in here.
Yeah, perfect.
Whoops. Where's the church? Oh, the church kind of goes there, and then the hill goes here. Bear with me, guys. We're almost done. Okay, you go here.
Got it.
Because basically what I wanted to show you is that all this fun stuff. Well, sometimes I break it to more layers before this. I think like this will be fine. And then we could create an animation. So let's do this, and we do animation in bounce. No, where's up? What's a good one? Right. Yeah,
Comes in from the right.
Yeah, and then show layer timeline, and then we go this from like animation in from not pop. What's a good one? Spin. Tumble. Oh, I like that.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we're just gonna do that just for the entertaining purpose.
You want to do the other side though, right?
Yeah. You can change direction.
Yeah, perfect.
That's so funny, So if I click that, I think
Dragon's just hopping right in.
Wait, sorry. This one will be right here, and then this one church will come in like here. So I'm supposed to break the layer on the foreground layer to like a separate layer, but I forgot to do the separation on that. But we can just do another shine. That's totally fine. And then you can also like control how fast you want it to be. And then since we have like show timeline layer, and we can keep press, and you have this. So it's like kind of like a fun way to show behind the scene. The dragon bouncing is really funny. Yeah, and you can always go back and change into like different animation or resize the canvas or anything you don't want. But basically this is like, and then I kind of like export this video, and then I do some design. So on my Instagram, you can actually find some of the ASMR behind the scene editing of, the thing, my file. So it's pretty fun. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to show you guys that. So this is how we went from empty canvas to like this ground, and then we add the church, highlighting and editing, and then we added the dragon as what you guys suggested. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So don't forget, this is all in Photoshop beta. So if you don't have it, go to Creative Cloud, the apps, you can find it under the beta tab. So you have the generated image right here, and then you also have like the reference image, and then generative fill obviously is there, right? And then you can also find all of this on Firefly, and you can play with it. You can actually find some of it in the Express too. So yeah, feel free to jump around, and then I hope you guys have fun.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Ted, for sharing your entire process end to end. I love like how you think of the little things like the lighting and the shadows, and then how you moved it to Express. I love the little animation.
The animation is really fun.
Yeah.
It's probably like actually one of my like favorites.
Yeah, and you did the Express thing in like less than 5 minutes. It was probably like a couple minutes. You just immediately.
I had like some practice before, like this is like the 5th or 6th video I made, so I know like where everything is.
Yeah,
but
love that.
So usually I'll probably take a little bit more time to design. You can also like always delete it, right?
Yeah.
So you can do like flicker in. That looks like a Pokemon, right? Yeah. You do a drop, and then you can also do out. So let's see if we can make it tumble out of the way. Right?
Yeah.
So you can just like, hey, I'm in, and then I'm out.
Yeah,
That's
I love that. Thank you so much, Ted. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll be right back in 5 minutes, and I'll be presenting video editing on Express, so stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Today, we're going to create a cozy game together. We build those foundations. We can leverage Firefly and Express to put those ideas together and help us quickly visualize what that world can look like. What is the place of the game? And then moving on to the character, like who is the protagonist? You have to set up the objective of the game. Then lastly, what are some of the challenges, right? Like what makes that journey really difficult? And now is actually a really good time for us to jump into Firefly. So maybe we can start typing into the prompt bar and enchanted forest. So like for this concept, I think we do want to change the content type to art. I think another thing that we can definitely test is style reference, right? You can actually upload something that either you generated before or use your own images. So we are adding this image, kind of like warm, cozy, like living room as the reference image. Ooh, so nice. So we have a huge library of effects. Fresco, maybe we can try that. Oh, okay. This looks so good. Let me just save them really quickly. You can hover over the image. Let's just like reuse one of the images that we have earlier. This is definitely a tip I want to share with all of you guys, which is like using style reference. You can actually making sure every single generation that you have from now on is going to have a very consistent visual look of it. All right, so now we can actually move on to our character. Young, female, witch hat maybe? Yeah, so here we're already using the same style reference that we generated before. I actually really like this one. That's cute. Let's grab it over here. And one thing I definitely want to highlight over here is this remove background feature. This is like pretty good. So we talked about a bunny, right? Oh, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, and it has Easter eggs. I think I'm good with this. Yeah, let's try. I like the hair. Yeah, the mane makes it feel a little whimsical. Okay, let's bring that in over here. We're gonna do the same trick over. I like it. Yeah, let's try to explore this structure reference. Something that we can try is more effects. Isometric. That will make your world look a little bit more standout from your character, and they have a specific angle. So when you're actually coding that game, that you can make the navigation a little bit more straightforward. Or you can actually have Firefly in the second window and use that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adobe Live. If you are still joining us in the chat, thank you for sticking around. We've got more amazing Anjali for you here today. Anjali, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. We're actually celebrating, and you guys have probably heard this today, but we're celebrating 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. And so we have a really great food spread here, the San Francisco offices.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of sugar. I just had a really good churro. So I am hyped and ready to go for your live stream today.
Sounds good.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be doing today?
Yeah, so my name is Anjali Viramgama, and I'm a tech content creator on Instagram and LinkedIn. And it is actually something that I do part-time. So for me, it's more about productivity and doing everything real fast instead of like spending hours on perfecting something, because I just need to pump stuff out on Saturdays, schedule it out for the entire week, and then I'm done.
Wow,
So
that's a big day for you.
Yeah, so my Saturdays are usually, I just get up and then spend 6 hours just like really scripting a ton of reels and then creating them and then just scheduling them out. And it takes me roughly an hour per reel, so that's 6 reels for 6 hours.
Wow, okay.
And then I'm done for the week.
All right, that's amazing. Even just being able to crank out a reel in 1 hour is like, your workflow must just be, you've got it tuned in.
Yeah, so I would love to kind of show you what I do in that hour, really go through the reel process. And just wanted to quickly show you what I do on like Instagram and LinkedIn. So the way my reels work and the way the videos work is it's not about me trying to showcase a lot of different things or shoot at a lot of different spots. It's educational, right? It's tech. So I'm talking about a concept. I have to really narrow it down to really simple words in less than 60 seconds and like really explain a complicated subject sometimes real quick. So I use, and it has to be interesting, right?
Yes,
which is where
definitely.
Adobe comes in. Because if I just drone on and if my page looks like a Wikipedia page, I wouldn't really.
No, no one wants to see that.
Yeah, so jump straight into Express. I'll show you how I make my reels. There'll be 2 types of reels I make. One is where I have to like actively shoot and then, edit it out. And the second thing is where there's just like a random video on the background and then text. So I'll just show my Instagram real quick.
Yeah, let's see. If you're not following Anjali on Instagram, make sure that you're following her. It looks like, can you say your handle out loud for us?
Yeah, it's anjali.gama. It's just my name. And if you look at my videos, a lot of them are just like, me sitting down and talking about something educational or technical, right? So I'm just gonna, and the second kind of reel is like this, where there's just like a really random video in the background, and then there's a lot of information in the caption.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna go over how to create both of those in Express. So let's get started.
That's so cool too that you've got like your very specific content types, and so that way when you are planning out your content every Saturday, you can say like, okay, I'm gonna make this many like talking to cam, I'll make this many like voiceover or like caption photo or reels with videos and photos and stuff, and so that way you can just kind of like pump it out especially quickly. Yeah,
so I think it's like really easy to do things quickly when you know exactly what you're gonna do. So the planning part, like it takes a lot of brain power if I'm just sitting there and thinking, oh, I don't know what exactly. But now that I've like really streamlined it, I just head straight into Express. I have a few videos I shoot, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So the first reel that I'm gonna do is basically I have a few raw videos here. 1, 2, and 3, and I'm trying to show the generative AI features on Express in that reel. So the way I do it, I was wearing 2 different clothes. So I was wearing the first set, and I was pretending to be person 1, and then I was saying, oh, I went to this place, I was traveling here, but I'm wearing the same outfit, and I wish I had carried a lot of clothes. And then the second person's like, well, did you try Express? You just got to use the Gen AI and change the clothes out. So when the second person's saying that, I want to kind of show the results in the video.
Okay.
So let's
that's
started.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm curious for people who are joining us in the chat, whether on Behance or on YouTube, have you used Adobe Express before? I mean, is this something that like a lot of people tuning in have experience with? If so, that's awesome. Tell us about how you use it. And if not, we're here to answer any questions that people might have, because I mean, Anjali, you're a seasoned professional in Express, and I'm curious how long you've been using it for.
Oh, probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So we can answer any questions that you might have. So give us a shout out in the chat if anyone has any questions about Express or even generative AI in Express. That is what we're here for.
Sounds good. Yeah. So I'm gonna click on the plus sign here to create, and we're gonna go with video. So it could, if you wanna like specifically mention the dimensions, then you can do that. So as you can see, this is more of like a YouTube video format. Another way to really do it is like go here and you immediately see like some of the popular formats here. So there's the video here, but this is gonna be more of, you know, like I said, the YouTube format. As you can see, it's 1920 by 1080.
Yep.
So I'm gonna just start by importing the first one right here. And I'm gonna say create new.
That's awesome. You just dragged it right into the browser.
Yeah, I don't even like bother searching for the sizes because I know the way I position my camera, it's going to be the right dimensions. So I just drag and drop it immediately. So as you can see, this is person 1, and I'm going to put the headphones on because I need to listen. All right. Let's see.
That's hard.
Okay,
I'm not a Photoshop
I can hear it now.
expert.
Perfect. So the reason we have the headphones on is because you guys need to hear the audio too. So a little bit there. So yeah, this is the first video, and as you can see in the raw video, it goes.
I got amazing pictures at Banff, but I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all of these photos.
So she's like, I got amazing pictures, but I'm wearing the same outfit. So this is where I want to end my first snippet. So the way you can do it is click on the 3 dots here and click on split. And if you also click on the 3 dots and look at the split here, there's a little S, which is the shortcut.
Okay.
So you can use the shortcut. And then after that, I want the second girl to come in. So what I'm going to do is just drag and drop the second video here. So if I put it on top here, it's going to replace the first video, which is not something we want. So I'm just going to add it as a scene. Oh, sorry.
And that's awesome that you're able to drag it onto sort of the canvas, if you will, and then it essentially just layers 2 videos on top of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So if I drag and drop it on top of here, then it'll just create a new scene here because I created a blank scene, and then and the other thing I can do is drop it on the timeline here, as I'll show you in the next video. So I want the second girl to appear after our first split. So I'm gonna pull it here and reposition it there.
Gotcha.
And then let's see what she has to say. So as you can see, I'm turning the camera on at first, so we gotta time it perfectly. And what I love about Express is it has the same kind of features, almost the same features on the phone. So I usually do this when I'm commuting.
Nice.
So it's like super quick, and I'm doing it on the way, and it doesn't take a lot of my time. So she starts talking here, so I'm gonna split it here and delete that. Oh, deleted the wrong one. Delete that.
And we've got Alessandra in the chat who says she also loves Express and uses it too.
Or you can just edit them out.
Yeah, I think Express is probably my favorite because it's the easiest to work with, and that's what I started with when it comes to the Creative Cloud Suite. That's how I got into editing, because I used to think it was like super complicated, and then I got introduced to Express, and I was like, well, you know what? That's not hard.
This is pretty easy.
Yeah. So let's see.
You can just edit them out.
And then let's split it here. So she says you can edit them out, and now we need the first girl again. So I'm gonna pull it back here.
I should have carried more clothes.
Ooh, that actually goes with the first one. I should have carried more clothes.
Oh, so you could
maybe
I should have carried more clothes.
So let's split that here and bring it back here. And we'll watch it at the end to make sure that it's neat.
I should have carried more clothes. Or you can just edit them out. Did you?
I wonder where the second audio is coming from.
Maybe it's just might be like sticking
More
around.
clothes. Or you can just edit them out. Did you try Adobe?
Huh.
Maybe try just like
You
dragging
have like
and dropping
layers
it
somewhere.
back in.
Yeah, I have a layer of it here.
Oh,
sitting
there
there,
you go.
right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I love that you can see all the layers on the side.
Yeah.
So that if something's hidden like this one was, you can kind of immediately find it. So let's see.
Out.
Awkward.
That's hard. I'm not a Photoshop expert.
Okay, so she goes that I'm not a Photoshop expert, because that's where the whole idea of some of the Adobe apps being super complicated comes from. So let's. All right, I'm gonna split that, delete that, And then she goes, I'm not a Photoshop
That's hard. I'm
expert.
not a Photoshop expert.
And we split it again. All right.
And you're using the keyboard shortcut.
Yeah, I'm using the
right?
S, yeah.
Which is split, or which is S. Okay.
I'm not a Photoshop expert.
And then we have the
That's
first
hard.
girl kind of showing how to do it now. So gonna move that back.
Did you try Adobe Express? I partnered with them for this video. Look.
Uh-oh.
Did you try?
All right, we go again.
Second
She goes, look,
take.
and then oh, that was not it. So I'm gonna split that out, delete it, because it was a blooper.
The life of a content creator. We've got multiple takes going on.
Yes. All right, so let me split that and delete that. Okay, so she starts from here. So another way, instead of splitting and deleting, you can also kind of move it.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I was splitting it is because I need to move it around.
Yep.
But for this one, I can just remove it.
Did you try Adobe Express? I partnered with them for this video. You just select your photo, describe your outfit, and voila. Look what I made for you in less than 2 minutes.
Okay, so in the look what I made for you, I need to be showing, you know, the before afters or something like that. So I think in the beginning when the first girl says, oh, I went to this place, I took a lot of photo wearing the same clothes, I can show like the befores.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the later half, I can kind of show the after. And then let's see what she says.
That is insane.
Yeah, give me an Oscar for that one.
It's acting with a capital A.
All right, so I'm gonna cut it out here. Okay, let's see.
That is insane.
All right, and we want to say something like, oh, try Adobe Express. So if I've got video 3 for that, gonna import that, drag it here to add it as a new scene. And the first half is the same thing that we already cut, so I'm gonna go right to the end. And if you see the layer on top, I have the show layer timing on, which kind of shows that.
Gotcha.
So this is 4.3 seconds. If I want to have like, maybe like more of the video, you can kind of see how much of the layer it shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll need that when we add more elements like the photos on top.
2 minutes.
We had Jack in the chat just give you an Oscar for that performance.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Try it from the link in my bio.
Okay, so she says try it from the link in my bio, and we're done with the video. So that's a reel.
Okay.
A lot of the reels, they're just like this. They're just basic.
Yep.
So that was, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, super quick.
And then it took me like 10 minutes to shoot this.
I got
So-
amazing pictures at Banff, but I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all of these photos. I should have carried more clothes. Or you can just...
Okay, the or was weird.
Yeah, it was like a little...
Overlap. So let's try that.
I should have carried more clothes. Or you can just edit them
There you
out.
go.
That's hard. I'm not a Photoshop expert. Did you try Adobe Express? I put
Blah, blah, blah.
in 2 minutes. That is...
Okay, that's a little too long. And we gotta keep everyone's attention span in mind. We
Yeah,
wanna make it
so
as
like
short as possible, as
quick
quick as
cuts.
possible, yeah.
That is insane.
All right, let's cut that as well.
Try it from the link in my bio.
And we're done. So as you can see, the cuts were not super
I got it.
clean. So I'm gonna add a transition here. So click on the plus sign, click on add transition, and you have all these options. So this is like a dip to black.
Okay.
So let's place it here so that we know what we'll see. Like
Yeah,
here.
do you have any like favorite transitions that you work with in Express?
Yeah, I really like. Let me
Yeah,
not
let's-
wipe. 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna add transition, and yeah, these are the 6 main ones really. So sometimes if it's like a dark image, I usually prefer like dissolving it, just because it like merges right in.
Yeah.
And then push can also be one where you're like, if you have like a hand gesture, then the push works really well and the slide as well. So I think right now we're just gonna go with dissolve unless someone in the chat has some other ideas. So I'm gonna dissolve here. So now you can see
I should have
that
carried more clothes.
it kind
Or you can
of
just
merges
edit
into
them
the other
out.
girl.
That's nice. It does.
That's
it speeds it up a
hard.
little bit too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna change. Oops. I'm gonna change this to dissolve as well. So let me Control Z that. All right, so I want the dissolve transition. And you can kind of change the duration here. So I think 1 second's a good duration.
I should have carried more clothes. Or you.
And then you can kind of add the transition everywhere. So you can just do apply to all scenes and it'll apply it everywhere. So now.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I got amazing pictures
so now
at
you
BAM.
kind of have a nice.
All of these photos. I should have carried more clothes. Or you can just edit them out. That's hard.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, that's nice. It's so, like the transition almost makes it feel more like a conversation too.
Yeah.
So it's like nicely cutting between.
Yeah. So now all we need is really the captions and the photos, the before and the after. So let's look at the before. I have 3 images here. So I'm just gonna, as you can see, I'm wearing the same purple top in all of them.
Yep.
And I specifically chose images that were like, that had random lighting. So as you can see, this is super bright, this is dark. Just to like really test the limits out for the generative AI. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's messy.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just trial and error until you like really get it. And it's just getting really good.
Yeah, okay. I'm excited to see this because I've never even thought to try this with generative AI before, but this could come in really handy.
Yeah. So these are our befores. So we're gonna have to go to generative AI and try them out. So let's just import the befores first. So I'm gonna go back to my Finder, drag and drop them. So let's start with the first one. All right, so I'm gonna add it here. And then it's right here. So when do we want it to pop?
Amazing pictures at BAM.
Maybe when she said, we don't want it to pop immediately, so maybe here.
Yeah.
So she goes.
I got amazing pictures at BAM, but I'm wearing the same freaking.
And then when she says same outfit, I want like the 3 photos to pop up one by one.
Through.
Yeah. So let's do that.
We have someone named Psycho in the chat. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. If we have people joining us, let us know where you're joining from. We are in San Francisco at the Adobe Live Studio. Where are you visiting from, too?
I'm from Houston.
Okay, so you're
Texas.
visiting from Houston.
Yeah.
I'm visiting from Portland. So drop us a message in the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. If you've got experience with Adobe Express, if you've got experience with generative AI. We're using generative AI in this case to change Anjali's outfits and the photos that she took on a vacation in Banff. And so let us know what your usages are with it. We've done a lot of generative AI stuff today.
So let's see how it looks. We've got the third photo here. Okay, so we kind of wanted to cover the entire screen as she talks. So let's see.
Yeah, that's nice.
We have this layer and then this last layer. I'm gonna reduce the timing here.
Oh, Joshua is San Francisco adjacent. San Mateo, Joshua, did you say you're from San Mateo? Am I remembering that correctly?
I got amazing pictures at BAM, but I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all of these photos.
I think that was
I should have carried more.
So the way we can kind of
Pictures at
we
BAM,
can rearrange
but I'm wearing
it.
the
So we have
same
1, 2,
freaking
and 3. So I have it perfectly layered, but if not, you can kind of move it here. But I think since it's perfect, I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah, I think
so
that looks
we
good.
have the same outfits
Pictures
here.
at BAM, but I'm wearing the same
And
freaking
then
outfit in all of these photos. I should have
Just
carried more clothes. Or you can just edit.
she starts talking about Adobe Express, and then she also says something like, "Look what I made for you,"
Uh-huh.
in less than like I guess a minute or something. So now we want the afters. So I'm gonna kind of rename this file to Banff Real 1. And then, yeah, so it's gonna autosave anyway. So I'm gonna go home and now we're gonna go and try create like, use generative AI on these images. So again, I'm gonna just drag and drop it, start from scratch. I'm gonna go with the original ratio. And the way we wanna do it is just select the photo and click on Generative Fill. So now we have a brush here. We can kind of change the size. So I think the primary thing we wanted to do was change the outfit out. So I'm gonna highlight the t-shirt here. We can try different things. We can try changing the colors and then maybe even the entire top. I'm just gonna select it.
Yeah, I'd be so curious what changing the top would look like.
Yeah.
Like, could we get a whole different like style, like a blouse or like a blazer or something?
Yeah, sure. Let's do a pink blazer. Let's see what it.
I'm so curious. Okay. Ooh, nice little rainbow animation there.
Yeah. If anybody in the chat has any specific things I want to try out, let me know. Oh, interesting.
Huh. Well,
Huh.
maybe.
It gave me a belt.
It did give you a belt. That's so weird.
All right, let's select none and go again. Maybe look for a yellow top with sunflowers. I don't know. And then I'm gonna increase the brush size a little bit and see if that.
Yeah, like if you.
Yeah, the stuff it generates, it's like so interesting. Like sometimes it gives you like the coolest outfits.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just like, oh, where'd you get that from?
Well,
Is that even a top?
I wonder too if like the context of the rest of the photo helps somehow, where like, oh, it's interesting. It gave you
like
little
that.
cutouts on your shoulders.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's still sticking to the purple, even though I said yellow. I think it has like a little sunflowers here, like a sunflower image here. But I think I like this. But I want like something that's an obviously like different color.
Yeah.
So that it pops in the reel. So we're gonna try with all three images and see which one works best. So let's try a red top.
And I'm curious, have you tried this same process in Photoshop? Do you find like the results vary at all, or do you do this primarily in Express?
I have tried it in Photoshop. I've also tried it in Firefly. I think at the end of the day, they all use Firefly in the back end.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are the same. I think I just like think of it from a very, we have, I don't know why it still sticks to the purple. We have a lot of different like textures and styles here. Let me just load more and see if it gives me something red. It's just ignoring the colors, I say. But yeah, I think I love that you can give a reference image.
Yeah.
Here, I think in Express, I don't think we have the option yet. But I would love, or I think maybe we do. I'm not super sure. I haven't tried it. Yeah, it's sticking to the purple for some reason. So let's try something else. But this is still like good enough. I think it is different from the one I was wearing for sure. Maybe I can try like green pants or something. I don't know.
And Jack just gave the tip in the chat. Make sure you're selecting the entire shirt, even outside of it a little bit. So maybe if it's not selecting the entirety, or you might even try to select just fully around the body. And maybe that will help with it.
All right, let's try that. So for the pants, I'm just doing. I think what I notice sometimes is it'll cut my hand off. But let's see if it.
Yeah, generative AI does tend to struggle with hands.
Yeah, because this is like something super specific. If you give it like an image prompt, like, okay, give me an image that does XYZ, it gives you great results. But this works. Oh.
You're like, boop, popped your hips out a little bit there.
Yeah. So it's like interesting. Like sometimes it really works. For example, I remember in one of my reels, I just like completely changed my dress up. So that like I had a pink dress on and I changed it to like a black, kind of like a cocktail dress. So it does that sometimes, and sometimes it's, Well,
we can also try with one of your other images too.
Yeah,
and
for sure. Yeah, let's do it. So for this one, let's just go for.
Oh, you're wearing like cargo pants there.
Let's just go with this top, right? And then I'm gonna be like, okay, Banff, image 1. And then let's try something else now. So go back home, drag and drop image 2 and see how that goes. So I'm gonna select the image again. Let's try generative fill, and let's try the tip that I was just given, where I'm gonna select the whole thing. Hopefully it doesn't cut.
Yeah, well, and this one will be interesting too, because it is like it's darker you're more in shadow. There's less like light on you.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty bright sky background. So I'll be curious to see what the results.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to just like change the sky up.
Yep.
So you can just be like, oh, pink. Oh, it gave me a yellow top.
Whoa.
Woohoo. I like that. It really looks like I'm wearing a different, and it didn't cut my hand off. So I love that.
Yeah, that's nice.
So this definitely works. I'm just going to save this as is. And then let's go for the third one. So for the girl saying that, oh, look what I made for you, just having just one image is enough. We can just show the before after, but we'll just select the best of the three. The first one didn't give us like good results. The second one, I liked it. I like how it's super yellow. I'm gonna try like drastically change this up and see if it works. I'm just gonna select the whole thing and be like, put me in a dress. But like the position of my hands is like super, it can be hard for AI to kind of adjust my hands with the dress. But give me a long orange dress.
Yeah, Alessandra said, wow, that yellow is popping.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because it was a dark image and the yellow is right in your eyes. Ooh, okay.
Whoa. It made you like,
I don't know.
look really small. You look kind of like a little girl now.
Yeah, with a giant face, but yeah.
That's too funny.
But I like it did listen to me this time. It gave me a long orange dress.
The orange is a nice contrast with the blue of the water and the sky.
Okay. I'm not as little here, but yeah, the legs are still weird. So I'm going to try it again.
You're so little.
I'm going to just try the whole thing. Maybe I'll cover my legs up. Let's do Generative fill again. Increase the brush size and be like, oh, give me...
Alessandra says, haha, oh no. And you might try too going like back to the original image because this will like probably alter the altered version.
Yeah, let's see
and
what.
So I'm curious how it'll.
Yeah, and then we can try it from the original image as well. But maybe it'll, because I like the top half, you know, with this one. Maybe I should have done an orange skirt and then just selected the bottom half.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a nice dress.
It still looks a little weird, like my head. You just cut my head off and put it in a different body.
It does kind of look like you're wearing a bag too or something. Clever says Chester Cheetah be running to this scene. That's funny.
I do like this. I can probably change the skirt. So I'm just gonna use the same image as a reference and be like, oh, give me a long skirt. Maybe select the entire area here and be like long orange skirt. I hope it's not a completely different orange though.
Hopefully it'll pick up on the existing orange in the image.
But let's see.
I want you to appear in like a ball gown. Oh, uh-oh.
It gave me slippers though. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, you can tell that it was... It's so fun.
I like how it puts you in like one really tall. I think that's the one. I think that's the one.
Do we really want to go with this?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's let people in the chat decide, but I don't know. I think that's kind of the one you need to
I think this is kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's
just covering my legs up.
That is a fashionable...
I mean...
What's going on with the legs? The shoes.
I don't know why I put my legs like that. I don't think I had that in the reference.
No, I don't think you did.
But every single image with my legs has my leg
I think it needs to be that one. I think it needs to be the one with the heel, but it's okay. I'll understand if you don't want to do that.
I'll just do whatever you all say, so let me know what you want.
Raphael says LOL and Jack says oof. I'm going to take both of those as yes.
Okay, we're going to say this is number 1.
That's the one.
This is number 2. This is no. Okay, 1 and 2. Tell me, what do you want?
1. I'm voting
I
for
vote 2. So it's up to you all.
Yeah, it's your photo, so you can decide at the end of the day. But I'm over here voting for 1.
All right.
We'll see what people say. Okay, so you've got your 3 images with the changed outfits.
Yeah.
And then you need to drop them into the reel.
Right.
To show like the example of how you went from like A to B.
B,
okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just do this since you love it so
everyone
much.
voted for 1.
Okay, perfect. Let's call this BAMF image 3. I'm just gonna download this because this is the coolest.
Save it for later. Inspiration for your next road trip.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna go back to my stuff. Go to the last reel we made. Oh, I just want to open it. Let me go home. All right. So we have this. And then let's drag and drop this here. Just as an image. I don't want a separate page. Let's see what it does. I think it's usually faster to drag and drop from your desktop. So that's why I already downloaded it anyway. So maybe you can try that. Oh, I didn't want it on top of that. All right. So let's see if I can. I don't want a new scene. I want it overlaid. But if I add as an image, it's a new scene. Let me try here. So we have the image here. I kind of want it here. Okay, it's sitting there.
There
Perfect.
we go. Okay.
Yeah. We want it.
You want it like
at the end. Oh, I think I dropped it in the wrong scene. Let me delete that. Move here. I think this is where she says,
Put them for this
try
video.
Adobe Express.
You
just select your photo, describe your outfit, and you got it. So I'm gonna drag and drop this here. And we have it right here. And that is when she says, look for what I made for you.
just select your photo, describe your outfit, and voila. Look what I made.
Yeah, so when she says look, that's when I want to show this photo. And I want like a before and after, so.
Look what I made for you in less.
So I want the before. So I think it was image 3, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we have this, and then we have this.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great before and after.
All right. So this one should also match this. Maybe the before first and the after next. So she goes.
You just select your photo, describe your outfit, and voila. Look what I made for you in less than 2 minutes.
That's awesome. So when she says like the whole process of select your photo, describe your outfit, one thing I would do is like just screen record. Just selecting the photo and
to show you.
Yeah. But for the sake of time, I'm just gonna skip that.
Outfit and voila.
So now we
Look
have
what
this
I made for
reel
you.
that's ready. I'm gonna download this. And you can also start a new file while it does that, so that's fun. But I want to add captions to it, so I'm just gonna wait for the whole download to happen and then go to caption generation in Adobe Express.
And that will take the audio from your video and
then add a
auto-generate.
caption. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't like make that many like content pieces or reels, and so I haven't used Adobe Express to create reels like this before. So this is really cool to see like the in-depth process of putting something like this together.
Yeah, usually I just like go through the quick actions a lot because there's like new stuff coming in all the time. But sometimes the easiest way is to like just go here, quick actions, and just type whatever you want. So now we want like captions. So it immediately pops up. It wants me to drag and drop the video, so I think we just downloaded it. Yeah, this is what it was called. So I'm gonna drop it. And I love the animation here.
Oh my gosh, what is it? Is it a little letter E?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute.
It always has something different. I've never seen it repeat.
What's it doing?
It has a baby E behind it.
Oh. What's it saying? What's the baby E saying? Oh, a little N?
Yeah. And the baby N.
Oh, they're so cute. They're in the desert or somewhere.
And then she's yelling for N.
It's like, come on. N. Wait up. Oh my God, that's adorable.
Yeah.
I bet that they made this video in Adobe Express too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably not. Probably more like After Effects, but.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, usually like the caption generation, I'm just so busy watching the I don't even realize like how long it takes.
I got amazing pictures at
So it should be Banff, like the Banff National Park. So I'm gonna change that here.
But I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all of these photos. I should have carried more.
And then we can kind of change the style up here.
Or you can just edit them out.
This is pretty cool.
Yep.
That's hard. I'm not a Photoshop expert.
And then you can kind of change
Adobe Express?
text and the shape
Partnered with
and
them
shadow
for this
here.
video.
Okay.
So let's say we're just gonna go with, I like the one where it highlights what you're saying. So I don't like something like this. I prefer the one where
and voila,
the background happens where you're
that's
saying
nice.
the word. Yeah.
Kind of helps guide your eye along.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna, I think the blue kind of merges with the blue here sometimes, so it can be hard to read. So let's change it to, I don't know, like, let's just grab the orange because that's the highlight.
In less than 2 minutes. That is insane. Try it from the link in my bio.
I think that's good. We can also change the shape color so it can have
pictures
but I like the black more.
Bam, but I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all of these photos.
Swap it to the purple.
I should have carried more clothes.
I think that's cool too.
Or you can just edit them out.
Yeah. So yeah, once you're done, I can just download it.
And can you edit the placement on where the captions fall in the video?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Just curious. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna download it and then open it again. But I have never actually done that because it's always at the right place.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great question. Let's try it. Because I didn't see the option here, but I'm pretty sure when I import it again, because I'm gonna do that because I also want to show translate. You can have different languages on there.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to show that. So we can try the placement thing there.
Nice. Oh, so you're saying will it translate the audio?
No, the caption.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I think audio would be cool too.
Wow.
Yeah. So just gonna wait for it to export.
I mean, even just like the amount that you've been able to accomplish in 40 minutes?
Yeah. So let's start again. Maybe just create a new file actually, instead of reusing the old one.
Clever says, wear green to later key out poor wardrobe choices. I'm like, okay, yeah, if you wear green everywhere you go, then you can just automatically edit out, easily edit out, because it'll have no trouble selecting the green.
Yeah,
so
that's
really,
a great idea.
You don't need to dress up for anything. You can just wear a green jumpsuit to everything you go to and change your outfit later.
Yeah, so I was wondering if it would give the captions as a separate layer, but it doesn't. So I'm not sure if you can move it actually.
No, but they're in a good spot.
Yeah, they're in a great spot, and you can see them moving a little bit.
All of these photos.
So depending on, I think it, like, if you see like in this one, it moved up.
Yeah.
So it just automatically moves.
Yep.
So it's pretty smart. That's why I never had the need to move it. So yeah, I was gonna show translate. So if you see here,
I got amazing pictures.
No language detected, because it usually detects English. But let's try it.
Well, so you exported the video, and so I think it like flattened all of the captions into the video itself, which you then like re-uploaded. So I don't know if it's going to be able to like detect or change it now that it's not
in separate layers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go home and see. So if I go to my stuff, I think this is the
original reel.
I got amazing pictures at Banff, but I'm wearing this.
Okay, so I think I just downloaded it. It didn't save it here.
I got amazing pictures at.
Yeah, maybe I can.
Can you like?
Let me try that actually. Let me see if I can kind of just open it immediately after captioning it. Oh, quick actions. All right, so let's go back to our original video. And yeah, we gotta watch the roller coasters again.
That's okay, we don't mind. They're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack loves the animations too.
Yeah, we could just really zoom into it.
They're so cute.
I know.
Yeah, so Joshua said, great idea. Wear a green jumpsuit. So I think that's what we need to do anytime that we go somewhere. We can wear a green jumpsuit to my garden party.
Yeah.
And then when we take pictures at the garden party, then we can
really change things up.
Like 25 outfit changes at one garden party.
Yeah, for sure.
So make sure that anyone who's listening who's coming to the garden party gets a memo that we will be changing outfits approximately 25 times at the garden party.
One thing I really like doing is, since I'm batch creating stuff, I have multiple reels. So I usually have like 5-6 tabs of Express open. And then, I have the caption going on here. I'm editing something else here.
Yeah.
So it's just like very easy to do things real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine what your Saturday process looks like of just like having all of your tabs open, exporting over here, doing captions over here, changing your outfits over here.
So while this is captioning, I think this is almost done. But if not, I can kind of show you the other templates that I was talking about. So here, you can kind of go and say, oh, I want, let's see if it actually gives me an Instagram reel. Yeah. And then as I selected the reel like this, I have a ton of templates that I can work with as well. So what I like doing for those, the other videos where I showed where I have a random video in the background and the actual information is actually in the caption, that's where I love using these templates. So for example, this has a video going on, and then as you can see, it has stuff coming up. So I can change all these layers up here.
Gotcha.
And then, so let's do that in a bit. I wonder if this is done, because it says 100%.
It's thinking. It knows we like to watch the little video so much, and so it's just giving us extra time.
Yeah, so I'm just going to select the video here and start the second reel, because that's how I multitask in real life anyway. And I'm going to go to, I think it was not downloads, but let me close these 3. I'm just going to go through this folder and then look for, like, let's say this background video, right? I'm going to I actually wanted to replace this.
Oh, replace the original
video.
video.
So I'm just going to do the replace with upload. And then I'm going to upload I think on my desktop, it's called Adobe Live. I'm going to go with the background video. So now I have this video here where I'm just chilling, and then I want something to pop up.
Yep.
So maybe...
You don't want it to be best scary movies?
No. So I'm going to ungroup this layer. I don't know if we want what is that? For Halloween. Okay, so instead of for Halloween, we're going to say for coding.
Best scary movies for coding.
We don't want movies. We can say best online courses.
Best online courses for coding. I should really watch some online courses for coding.
And then instead, I don't know if we want a hand. I mean, I kind of like the bat theme going on.
I know, me too.
But yeah, I just love that how, I have all these templates that I can just use.
Yeah.
And this is my reel.
Yep. And then you're like basically done.
Yeah. So I usually have like a lot of like, for example, I have this that says 5 things I did to graduate debt-free. So I can just say like, okay, 5 things I did to graduate debt-free.
Yep.
And then in the caption, I'll have all of the information. So this is, if I want to change the green up, so I'm going to ungroup it as well. Instead of green, maybe we can do like, I don't know. Blue would be too blue.
Yeah, maybe a nice contrast. I mean, like orange is a nice contrast for blue. Alessandra does say that they like the colors, but I think those colors are a little too Halloween-y for us right now.
Honestly, like anything that surprises people works.
Yeah?
Yeah. So if we're happy with the colors, we can just, use that.
Can we change like some of the little illustrations that pop up?
Yeah, we can change everything. So I love this, and this would definitely be a reel.
Yeah.
And I can show you how I schedule it. But we can definitely change like things up. For example, this is I ungrouped everything. So for example, this is a group here. I can ungroup it, and it gives me all the different elements that it is made of. So I can change any particular like...
Nice.
For example, I can change the colors here, and I can always, like replace them or duplicate them and reuse them somewhere else. Instead of a bat, if I want like something else, there's the elements here, so I can maybe look for like, let's just say coding. And it has these...
Yeah, like a little laptop or something would be kind of cool. Coding window.
Yeah, let's do like a laptop as well. Let's see what it comes up with. let's say we want this little laptop to pop up instead of the bat. I can kind of replace it. So I'm gonna delete the bat. And then this is our laptop here. And then we can add animations here as well, so we can have the laptop kind of like jumping in.
Bounce in.
Right? And instead of the moon, we can kind of replace it with, I don't know. What can we do?
A
hoodie. Like a
tech.
Yeah. I live in hoodies, so.
Yeah, when I'm working from home.
Yeah.
I'm
always working from home. So.
I know. Don't normally wear.
Right.
You don't normally wear a pink jumpsuit or pink pantsuit kind of thing.
I'm always in a hoodie, dude. Like, okay. So I don't want a random woman though. Let's see, like animated.
There's some there's in the design assets section. It looked like there were some like illustrated hoodies too.
Oh, this is cool. I like this.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, I don't like the background. We can probably remove it. I don't want to crop it. Yeah, I'm just gonna click on the image, click remove background. Let's hope it works. Okay, perfect.
Cool.
So now I have this lady here. All right. And we're gonna get rid of the moon. And then we can have an animation here as well. So this can also pop right in with the laptop. And you can kind of change the time segment at which it pops in. So the laptop pops in immediately with this, and then we have all of these things.
Cool.
Right?
Nice.
So we can change the hand up, really make it not Halloween themed. But yeah, that's our second reel while we wait for the first reel to caption out. Let's see. I think I can open it in editor here. Perfect.
There you go. Okay.
We got it. Yeah.
Nice.
And I think these are the layers. Perfect. We can now move it as well. The caption, it's a separate layer. So I can move it.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I have the caption here. Let's say I want it. Oh, sorry. Okay. So now I made it.
I got amazing pictures.
That's too small. Let me increase the font size. Okay.
Pictures at Banff, but I'm.
So now the last thing I wanted to show was translate. So as you can see, it detects English now. So that's perfect. I'm gonna change it to a language I understand. So I understand Gujarati. Let's translate that. Okay, yeah, it gave that to me immediately. Let's see.
Yeah, that was really fast.
Yeah. Let's ensure this is Mane Banff par Adbhut Chitro Maria. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. That was faster than it took to like transcript the.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So now you can just kind of, just download
But I'm wearing
the
the
video.
same.
Not the Gujarati version. I want the other one. Yeah. Okay.
Wearing the same freaking outfit in all.
Okay. So now I'm just gonna download it. I think we already did. We already have this here. The Banff 2 in the downloads. So the last thing that I really wanted to show was scheduler.
Yes.
So that is a lifesaver. Like I cannot like have two jobs, which is my full-time job and my content creation job, without Adobe Express Scheduler.
Well, you don't want to be going into all your social media apps and like pressing posts on every single one. You just want to know that it's going to get done when it's supposed to get done.
Yeah. So as you can already see, I have a lot of stuff scheduled out anyway.
Yep.
But let's say I want to post this on the weekend. So I'm going to click on the plus here. And by the way, this was the schedule button here in the Express app. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here. I can kind of drag, drop, or browse my, video. So it can be from here itself. So I have basically from Express itself, or it can be from my device if it's something I want to drag and drop, right? So I'm going to go with this reel. Click upload, and while it uploads, I can select the channels here. For me, the primary channels are Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
Okay.
So as you can see, I've connected them. So I can do all three, which is something I love, because a lot of times I find myself going to Instagram, posting a video, writing the caption, writing the hashtags, and going to TikTok to do the same thing all over again. And here I can just select both Instagram and TikTok. So even if I don't want to schedule it, even if I want to post in real time, I still do it from here.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do it twice.
Well, and it looks like there's a lot of detailed options for some of them too. So like options for Instagram, you can, upload a first comment, disable comments on TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. So the caption kind of goes here, so you can say that, use Adobe Express, Gen AI today. Right? And then a lot of people prefer the hashtags in the first comment. Yeah. So that is something that you can do here. Like this is for Instagram first comment. So here you can have like hashtag Adobe Live, hashtag Adobe Express, something like that, right? And then for TikTok, you can kind of disable comments, disable a stitch, anything that you'd like. And then you can schedule it or publish right now. This is something I use when I want to publish in real time. For the most part, I'm scheduling it. So since we selected the date here, it'll directly point to that date. But you can also just go to the calendar and just change it up.
Nice.
And you can like schedule stuff really far out. And then let's say on the 31st this month, and I wanted to post at like 8 p.m. So I'm just going to select that. And yeah, that's it. So now you can just kind of schedule it. So you can also preview this, and it gives you exactly what it'll look like.
Wow.
So you have my name. This is exactly what my profile picture looks like. So this is what it'll show up as. This is what the video is going to look like.
Bam, but I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all.
So this is Instagram, and on LinkedIn it looks like this. This is my LinkedIn profile photo.
Oh my gosh.
So I got amazing pictures at Banff, but I'm...
And this is the LinkedIn UI as well. And as you can see, LinkedIn will cut it off.
Yeah.
So the preview kind of tells you.
I'm wearing the same freaking outfit in all of these photos. I gotta carry more clothes. Or you can just edit them out.
Joshua says, is there anything Adobe Express can't do?
I don't know, you tell me.
And I'm like, if you can come up with something, let me know.
Yeah.
Actually, don't, because I don't want to know.
Yeah, but actually, I love that in Express you kind of have, just like finishing my thought, just hit schedule and you're done, right? But, and you also have like reels and stories that you can, so for this one, I was doing a post, but this should actually be a reel, right? So you can just change it up here.
Nice.
And for the feedback, right, I think there was like a little, here. The submit feedback, like if you have an idea and you submit it here, they like listen. They really listen to you. I've done this in the past because I've been using Express for a few years now, 3-4 years. So if I had like an idea, I wish it did something like this, I would just, just go there, submit an idea, or maybe like report a bug depending on what's going on. And then sometimes the features roll out a few months after I suggest it. Sometimes the team reaches out to ask more questions.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
so you know someone's listening.
Yeah, they really care. So if there's any features that you want to, really have on Express, like I think one thing I'd love to see is adding a reference image in Gen AI. I don't know if I'm wrong or if it actually exists, but at least I couldn't find as many options as you would on Firefly and Photoshop. So I'd love to see them. But at the same time, the whole point of Express is to keep things easy and fast.
Yeah, totally.
So that's kind of like, the pros and cons depending on what you prefer. But yeah, that was, my creative process of how I quickly make, videos. In this 1 hour live stream, I was able to make 2 of them.
Yeah, which is amazing. 2 videos, 2 pieces of content in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And really, like, the number of things you were able to do in Express is, like, truly, the possibilities are unlimited, especially with all the different templates and, like, tools that you can tap into in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your entire process. I hope that this has been really, beneficial to everybody listening to us in the chat. We've had an awesome day full of live streaming.
Sure, yeah.
You've been doing live streaming for the last 3 hours straight. So thank you again for joining us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
And I hope that people stay tuned. It looks like we've got 2024 Design Trend Report with Andrew and Nick as part of their Office Hours series. And so if you are joining us in the chat on YouTube or Behance, make sure you stay tuned. That's starting in about 5 minutes at 1:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And aside from that, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out Anjali on her Instagram channel, TikTok, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.